This page is the front cover of the magazine, prominently featuring the title Dorimaga Weekly and artwork for A Moment with the Girls, Canaria. The headline poses the question, will the Dorimaga fund be realized? Urging Sega fans to unleash their passion. Featured game coverage highlights upcoming titles across platforms, including previews for Virtua Fighter 4, Tekken 4, Virtual Force, and Dead or Alive 3, framed as a summer fighting game guide. The magazine also strongly features Dreamcast titles like Comic Party with a Strategy Guide, Super Robot Wars Alpha for Dreamcast, Shenmue 2, and Memories Off Second. Special features cover diverse topics: the proposed Dorimaga Fund initiative, a report on visiting Square to investigate their Play Online service, and an examination of game porting aesthetics. There is a continuing series on Sakura Wars 3, including voice actor interviews, and analysis of the current state of Dreamcast online gaming, alongside reader rankings for all Dreamcast titles. The bottom bar lists additional coverage for titles such as Kaien Seibo, Eldorado Gate Volume 6, Cul-de-Sac Second, Outrigger, Yume no Tsubasa, Fate of Heart, Sonic Adventure 2, Phantasy Star Online Ver 2, Guru Guru Onsen 2, and Derby Tsuku 2. This issue is from August 24, 2001. This page is a comprehensive feature on the highly anticipated Shenmue 2 for the Dreamcast. The main artwork dominates the left side, showcasing protagonists Ryo Hazuki and Ren of Heavens against a scenic backdrop that hints at the game's setting in China, with a subtle overlay of the character Shen Hua. The page prominently displays the game's title, Shenmue 2, and announces its release date as September 6th, priced at 7,800 yen. It confirms the genre as free, full reactive eyes entertainment, is a single-player experience, and supports the VGA box. A significant highlight is the special First Press bonus, a special premium disc featuring Virtua Fighter 4 content. The text emphasizes that Shenmue 2 surpasses its predecessor in scale, introducing new characters and systems. The narrative description notes the continuation of Ryo's journey following his father's death, and the mystery of the mirror, with the story moving to Hong Kong, promising numerous encounters and unfolding events as Ryo seeks answers. Below the main game details, there's an announcement for the AM2 Summer Festival, commemorating the game's completion. This event offered premium participation tickets to those who pre-ordered Shenmue 2 at participating stores, with a series of events held in major cities across Japan in late August and early September. Several small screenshots show glimpses of the game world and characters like Joy, providing visual context for the game's environments and character models. The page also includes logos and website information for Sega, AM2, and Dreamcast Direct. This page presents a summer 2001 lineup for the Dreamcast, showcasing a diverse range of games either recently released or coming soon. The layout features 6 distinct game entries, each with title art, screenshots, and brief descriptions. Highlights include Sega Bass Fishing 2, the realistic fishing simulation supporting the fishing controller. There's also Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team and Play, a baseball management and play hybrid, and Cosmic Smash, a unique sports title blending squash and block breaking. The page also features Sega Extreme Sports, bringing various action sports like snowboarding and dirt biking to the console. For fans of visual novels, Candy Stripe Apprentice Angel is highlighted as Sega's first romance adventure game. Finally, the arcade hit shooter Outrigger is featured, noting its support for the Dreamcast keyboard and mouse, alongside Derby Tsuku 2, a detailed horse racing simulation, and Guru Guru Onsen 2, an online communication title featuring minigames like Uno and Mahjong. The page provides essential details like genre, player count, peripheral support, and release timing for each title. The August 24, 2001 issue focuses on the Dreamcast scene. Special features include articles on Square's influence, game port aesthetics, and a fan service project. Deep dives cover Sakura Wars 3, Lobelia Carlini and the Kubu F2, and the visual novel Canary. Arcade Frontline updates cover fighting games like Virtua Fighter 4 and Tekken 4. New information highlights the Dreamcast's strength, showcasing upcoming and recently released titles, including the port of Super Robot Wars Alpha, Shenmue 2, and games like Comic Party, Memories Off Second, and others. The issue provides comprehensive coverage of various Dreamcast titles. This page is the table of contents and index for the issue, giving readers a clear roadmap of the content inside. It breaks down the magazine into major sections like New Strategy Guides, covering titles such as Eldorado Gate, Volume 6, Outrigger, and Cul-de-Sac Second, alongside ongoing serialized features, which prominently highlight the intense Sonic Adventure 2, and a feature on the popular pachinko game, Pashit Shanmaj. You'll also find core magazine elements, like news and data, fan pages, showcasing reader contributions, and community projects, like the Sakura Wars fan page, and comics and columns, offering lighter reading. The main game index provides an alphabetical listing, revealing coverage on a vast array of Dreamcast games, including major hits like Shenmue 2, Sakura Wars 3 Is Paris Burning?, Phantasy Star Online, and Super Robot Wars Alpha for Dreamcast, plus titles covered in the other consoles and arcade section like Virtua Fighter 4, Dead or Alive 3, and Cyber Troopers Virtual on Force. At the bottom, there's a handy guide explaining the various icons used throughout the magazine to indicate game features like online play, controller support, and external device compatibility. The page features artwork of characters from the visual novel Canary, a title discussed in the previous issue. This page features advertisements for strategy guides covering 2 popular Dreamcast titles. At the top, you see Sonic Adventure 2, with striking artwork of Sonic and Shadow. This guide covers both the hero and dark storylines, offering detailed explanations for all 30 stages. It promises to reveal the locations of hidden level-up items, the conditions for achieving a rank on every stage, the locations of all small animals, and how to obtain all 180 emblems. Additionally, it provides tips for raising KO and uncovering their secrets. The guide is available now and is 160 pages long. Below, 2 guides for the horse racing simulation game Dabitsuku 2 are advertised, featuring horse imagery. The first is a perfect guide, which is presented as a comprehensive resource suitable even for new players, packed with complete horse data including sires and broodmares, race strategies, and more, planned for release in early August. The second is a Strategy X fan book focused on raising the strongest horses, described as a passionate work by the magazine's own Dorimaga staff, slated for release in early September. The bottom of the page includes details for SoftBank Publishing, who produced these guides, including their website and contact information. This page dives into the gaming world's hot topics, specifically focusing on Sega's significant presence at Nintendo Space World that year. It explains that Nintendo Space World is an annual event showcasing Nintendo's upcoming titles, but this time, Sega is making a big splash by exhibiting games like the highly anticipated Super Monkey Ball. The article highlights the impressive launch numbers for the Nintendo GameCube, noting that while not quite reaching PS2's massive debut, its initial shipment is substantial compared to past Sega and PlayStation consoles, showing Nintendo's strong intent. A major focus is placed on Super Monkey Ball, featuring comments from the game's director, Toshihiro Nagoshi, expressing satisfaction with Nintendo's support during development. The game is described as being packed with modes not found in the arcade version, including racing and versus modes, making it a potentially great value. The official website is also mentioned, notably for its extensive and quirky information about bananas. The page also reveals that over 70 titles in total are set to be showcased at Space World across both GameCube and Game Boy Advance. Among the GBA titles, the exhibition of a Tekken game in development is highlighted as a surprising and noteworthy inclusion. Game lists for both platforms are provided, featuring a mix of first-party Nintendo titles alongside releases from other publishers like Sega's Phantasy Star Online and Super Monkey Ball on GameCube, and titles like Sonic Advance, Tekken, and Advance Wars on Game Boy Advance. This page introduces an ambitious project called the Dorimaga Fund, a fan-driven initiative spurred by the announcement of Sakura Wars 4 for the Dreamcast. The core idea is to see if the passionate Dreamcast fanbase can demonstrate enough interest and potential financial support to convince Sega to develop new software for the console, even at this late stage. The article highlights a discussion with Sega Representative Director, Mr. Takayama, who seems intrigued by the prospect of leveraging fan enthusiasm. The project aims to gather widespread feedback and pledges of financial contribution through postcards and online submissions. The magazine challenges readers to prove the strength of their passion by aiming for a massive response, suggesting that a large number of submissions could genuinely influence Sega's decision-making. Fans are asked specific questions via a form, including their desire to participate, a potential donation amount, their preferred platform for the game, though the focus is heavily on DC, and which specific game title they would like to see made. Potential incentives for contributors are mentioned, such as having their names included in the game's credits. The project's progress is planned to be reported in the magazine and online. It's a direct challenge from the magazine, backed by a key Sega figure, to the fans. Put your passion into action, and see if you can make new Dreamcast games a reality. This page covers 2 significant gaming news topics. The first highlights a major legal battle. Nintendo is suing Enterbrain, the publisher of the game Tearing Saga, for copyright infringement. Nintendo alleges that Tearing Saga is too similar to their own popular strategy RPG series, Fire Emblem. The lawsuit seeks to halt production and sales of Tearing Saga and is demanding substantial damages. Screenshots comparing the character designs, battle scenes, and overall presentation are shown, illustrating the similarities that Nintendo points out. The article notes the interesting dynamic of Nintendo suing the publisher of a major game magazine, but clarifies that the lawsuit focuses solely on the copyright issue and doesn't affect the relationship between Nintendo and the magazine itself. This legal clash raises questions about what constitutes copyright infringement in game design. The second topic shifts focus to Sega, specifically their sub-company Hitmaker, which is launching an online store called Hips, Hitmaker's interactive product store. This initiative follows the success of Sega's Dreamcast Direct online store. Hitmaker aims to provide unique, original goods, starting with exclusive t-shirts and planned soundtrack releases. The featured t-shirt design is showcased, along with potential cover art for the Sega soundtrack. The article mentions that the items will be made to order, suggesting they are targeting dedicated fans and collectors. The goal is to create goods that fans will genuinely use and appreciate, rather than just collect dust. Two individuals involved in the project are shown in a photo, discussing the plans. This page covers two major developments in the Japanese gaming world. First, the upcoming animated film Sakura Wars, the movie, is highlighted, showing progress towards its release later in the year. The film features a new character, Lachette Altair, a golden-haired woman in combat armor, who was previously the captain of the Star Division, where Orihime and Rainy belonged. The article shows screenshots from the movie and discusses its production, including a large budget for anime, and mentions promotional events like a production presentation and public BGM recording session. Pre-sale tickets and trailers are already available. Second, there's big news about a strategic business and capital alliance between Konami and Hudson Soft. This partnership signifies Hudson, a veteran game developer, joining the Konami Group. The article features photos of executives from both companies and discusses how this alliance leverages Hudson's development expertise and Konami's distribution network, aiming for mutual growth. It notes that Hudson had faced challenges since its main bank collapsed years prior, and this move is seen as a way for Hudson to secure its future within the competitive game industry. The article also briefly touches on other recent partnerships and moves among major Japanese game companies like Capcom, Namco, Sega, Square, and Enix, indicating a trend of consolidation and collaboration in the industry. This page dives into a couple of hot topics, starting with more peeks at the upcoming Sakura Wars, the movie. We see exciting animation shots highlighting the theatricality of the Flower Division, with dance sequences, intense battles featuring the Kubu mechs against enemies, and even some high-speed action showing the steam trains racing along the tracks. It really gives you a feel for the scale and variety of scenes in the film. But the big news here, under the Topics 7 banner, is a major development for one of Sega's most legendary development teams. The CSK Sogo Kenkyujo Company is officially changing its name to Segam 2, effective August 1st. This isn't just a simple name change. It formally solidifies the structure that brings together the iconic AM2 Research and Development Division, the powerhouses behind classics like Virtua Fighter and Daytona USA, with Chris, known for their middleware technology used in many Sega games. The article confirms Yu Suzuki, the head of AM2, is the president of this new entity. This move essentially creates a dedicated company for this crucial development team, and we even get a look at the new Segam2 website structure, showing it organized into the AM2 business division and the CRID business division. It's a significant step that clarifies the future of this celebrated group under the Sega umbrella. This page kicks off with the exciting news that Shenmue 2 is set to release on September 6th, but the real highlight is the incredible pre-order bonus you could get by purchasing it at certain retailers. A special Virtua Fighter Soundtracks CD. This isn't just a random music collection. It features 18 tracks carefully selected from across the Virtua Fighter series, including music from Virtua Fighter 1, 2, 3, 4, and even Virtua Fighter Kids. It's a fantastic bonus, especially getting tracks from the then-new Virtua Fighter 4 arcade game that wasn't even out on consoles yet. Staff comments emphasize how much thought went into selecting the music to create a unique listening experience. The page then shifts gears to showcase a high-quality paper model series focusing on Virtua On. Following up on previous previews, the first two models in this series are the iconic Temjin in its Dana color scheme and Fei in the Night in hyper mode color. These kits are highly detailed, as expected from the creators. What's even cooler is that each main model comes with a special bonus item. Temjin includes the Radical Zapper weapon, while Fian includes the Mini Doldry unit. These bonuses are substantial and add great value for fans of the series and modelers alike. This page covers two distinct topics. First up is a look at Konami's Hi-Hi Penta, which is highlighted as the industry's very first arcade prize machine capable of dispensing frozen items like ice cream. This is a novel concept for arcade prize games, allowing centers to offer cool treats, perfect for the summer heat, but also planned for year-round installation. Players found it surprisingly easy to win, enjoying the unique prize. The second main topic revisits the high-quality Virtua on Paper model series by Real Nop Sans. Following previous coverage, this page showcases the detail and impressive articulation of these kits. A particular highlight is the Fayan the Night model in its hyper mode color scheme, which is strongly recommended by the creators, despite its complex design. These limited production kits are highly detailed and articulated, offering a fantastic modeling experience for fans. You can even download a free Temjin head papercraft to try out the quality for yourself. This page is packed with news and event coverage from late July and early August. First up, the massive Wonder Festival Restart 2001 event brought together hobby fans from all over, showcasing incredible garage kits, McFarlane figures, and featuring various stage events. It was a huge draw for collectors and enthusiasts, with long lines for popular booths. Next, we get a detailed look at the limited edition bonus for Shenmue 2, the Virtua Fighter 4 History Disc. This is a fantastic extra, including the VF4 passport and VF.net details, plus a special disc covering the history of Virtua Fighter from the first game through VF3. It features development footage, character, costume art, and even secrets about VF4's Durian character, alongside a ton of music and other content. It sounds like a must-have for any VF fan. There's also coverage of a DGI Charrot concert featuring the voice actors, which was a big hit and even included a live connection to a Taiwan event, showing the character's global popularity. And the Kraken DJ Part 2 event at Tokyo Joyopolis was a blast with talk sessions, live music, and DJ battles, keeping the audience entertained throughout. Finally, the news highlights cover Xbox pre-orders starting in North America, with GameStop offering various bundles, a trend of capsule toys becoming more expensive, and Konami making a strategic move into the US casino market by acquiring Paradigm Gaming Systems to strengthen their operations. Sega is celebrating Shenmue 2's Dreamcast completion with the AM2 Summer Festival, a Japan-wide tour led by Yu Suzuki, featuring game demos, unreleased titles, and raffles. The highly anticipated Shenmue, the movie, is also coming to theaters this autumn. Nintendo Space World 2001 showcased upcoming GameCube and Game Boy Advance titles, including a special Celebi Pokemon card giveaway. Anime Rave 2001, hosted by Avex Mode, features performers from the Sakura Wars series. Other summer events include a Sakura Wars picture exhibition, Comic at 60, a Sakura Wars song show, and a Japanese sci-fi convention. Sammy acquired a majority stake in Sega's Sai subsidiary. This page features several updates on Sega events and industry news. Sega Mobile Friends has launched, offering a mobile phone-based membership service at Sega arcades, allowing players to earn points and win prizes. A nationwide launch event for Virtua Fighter 4 was held, featuring a tournament where a player using the new character Li Fei took first place. Pre-orders for the Dreamcast version of the visual novel Air are open, offering exclusive bonuses including a large poster and a poster gallery holder. iSoundNet has introduced a new fiber optic broadband service, Beeflets, with a special half-price connection fee campaign for new iSound card members. They also have a Sonic the Hedgehog-themed credit card. Industry news highlights the business alliance between Konami and Hudson as a significant move in game industry restructuring, influenced by the emergence of GameCube and Xbox. The page also includes a ranking of the most accessed news on the GameSpot website, covering topics like GameCube sales figures, details on Dead or Alive 3 and Tekken 4, and a copyright dispute involving Tier Ring Saga. The next page covers various Sega updates, starting with prize goods. Sega, System Soft, and Ico have teamed up to offer prizes including merchandise from Disney's upcoming Monsters, Inc., and items featuring World Cup mascots. Banpresto showcases a wide range of figures based on popular TV, anime, and robot characters, highlighting their impressive, big-size figure series. Alze introduces unique Inazuma Azarashi, Lightning Seal, goods, a collaboration with Hakuei from the band Penicillin. An ongoing summer festival event hosted by Sega and Kid Station is happening at various arcade locations across Japan, featuring exclusive character goods and appearances by Kisugan. There's also a video segment highlighting a unique World Cup 5-second drama created in cooperation with Smilebit, using game engine footage from their J.League soccer simulation title. For Dreamcast players, Phantasy Star Online is getting exciting new content, with the addition of new battle modes starting August 20th, including competitive modes like Meseta Scramble and objective-based challenges. Finally, the page provides a roundup of recent game industry news, touching on significant business moves like Konami's acquisition of Hudson, and lists upcoming game announcements and releases scheduled for the end of July and early August. This page brings news of new merchandise and online gaming options. First up, Alchemist is debuting a ton of new goods, primarily based on their popular visual novels Canon and Air, at Comic-It 60. You can see images of some character artwork used for telecards or similar items, and there's even a bonus item for purchasing over 1,000 yen of Canon or Air goods. In network news, Enix has launched their massively multiplayer online RPG, MailDeQuest. This unique game is accessible via web browsers and email, as well as on Windows, Macintosh, and Dreamcast, allowing for adventure with simple text commands. Events include the second Dreamcast karaoke contest, featuring J-pop and anime songs, where players can upload their scores for a chance to win professional Sega microphones. There's also an art exhibition in Shibuya showcasing original artwork from the Sakura Wars series by artist Hideki Matsubara, including new pieces and print sales. Finally, the page details various campaigns and giveaways. You can enter to win light novels based on well-known visual novels like Canvas, Pia Carrot, and Dukyusei, or an exclusive @Nifty laptop bag. Dreamcast Direct is also highlighted with weekly restocks of Dreamcast consoles, a limited sale of original cell art from the game Candy Stripe, and ongoing campaigns offering bonuses like PR cards for pre-ordering Sakura Wars merchandise, and a poster for the limited edition of Memories Off Second. The Dreamcast's Dorimaga Data Station bi-weekly charts reveal the top 10 best-selling software titles. Culdicept Second leads the pack, followed by the visual novel Umetsuba Fate of Heart. Phantasy Star Online, Ver2, and Sonic Adventure 2 maintain strong positions at third and fourth. Other top sellers include Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon, the first Gundam game with online play, Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, and The Boys Love visual novel Fragrance Story. Pia Carrot Ayukoso 2.5, Crazy Taxi 2, and Magic: The Gathering also make the list. The Dreamcast market anticipates strong sales overall, with several promising titles. This page features the Data Station segment, presenting the reader-voted top 30 ranking of highly anticipated upcoming Dreamcast titles. It highlights that the Dreamcast is reaching its peak with these awaited releases. Leading the pack at number 1 is Sakura Wars 4, Fall in Love, Maidens, retaining its top spot with significant reader support, suggesting strong excitement for this continuation of the popular series, especially with the tie to the theatrical version. Super Robot Wars Alpha for Dreamcast takes the second spot, indicating the enduring appeal of giant robot strategy games. Coming in third is the visual novel Air, showing that fans are eager for this port, particularly those familiar with the original PC version. The rest of the top 30 list features a diverse range of genres, including highly anticipated titles like Shenmue 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2 Millionaire Fighting 2001, and Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon, games that also appeared on the bestseller list from the previous issue, demonstrating sustained interest. Other notable titles in the ranking include fighting games, visual novels like Memories Off Second, and sports titles like Virtua Tennis 2, listed as Power Smash 2 here, and Bass Fishing Marine Angler, Get Bass 2. The anticipation spans various popular series and new entries, promising an exciting lineup for the Dreamcast. The page also picks out Tentama First Sunnyside and Sega Extreme Sports further down the list as titles to watch. This article spotlights player-requested game ports across various platforms, fueled by initiatives like the Dorimaga Fund. Dreamcast fans desire Knights, GameCube players yearn for Virtua Fighter 4, and handheld users want Dragon Quest IV. PlayStation 2 and Xbox players both covet the Sakura Wars series. The article also mentions the potential for a Tekken port to Game Boy Advance. Updates are provided on Nights for Dreamcast. An arcade income ranking reveals Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Xeon at the top, followed by Virtua Fighter 3TB and Tekken Tag Tournament. The pickup section previews upcoming arcade games, Cyber Troopers Virtual Force and Hanne Hacken Key. This page presents the upcoming release schedule, detailing the latest software, peripherals, and related products. It includes a helpful legend defining abbreviations for various game genres like action, RPG, shooter, adventure, simulation, sports, racing, puzzle, table, and quiz, along with compatibility details for Dreamcast peripherals such as arcade sticks, fishing controllers, racing wheels, and light guns, and notes on VGA output and network support. The main section lists upcoming Dreamcast titles, with both confirmed release dates and many still marked as unannounced. The schedule features a wide variety of games from Sega and other publishers, including titles like Super Robot Wars, Alpha for Dreamcast, Zero Gunner 2, Shenmue 2, Sega Extreme Sports, and Cosmic Smash. The list also includes information on pricing and compatible peripherals like vibration packs and network support. Beyond the Dreamcast itself, the page highlights Sega's presence on other consoles by listing titles they are developing or publishing for PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance. Key titles mentioned include Virtua Fighter 4 and Sakura Wars series entries for PS2, Super Monkey Ball for GameCube, and titles like Jet Set Radio Future and Gun Valkyrie for Xbox, showcasing Sega's expansion to multiple platforms. This page features the Reader's Race, a bi-weekly ranking of Dreamcast titles based on reader votes. It lists the top 30 games with their previous rank, genre, and average reader scores. The top positions are held by titles like Sakura Wars 3, Card Fight, Vanguard, Coldcept 2nd, Soul Calibur, Skies of Arcadia, and Phantasy Star Online, Ver.2. The page also explains the ranking system and how games can earn special recognition like Reader's Favorite. In the new quasi-entrance section, 3 recently released games are reviewed as potential candidates for the main ranking. A pachinko simulation game featuring a treasure detective theme, the puzzle game Cleopatra Fortune, and the online-focused Gundam Battle Online. Screenshots are shown for each, alongside their reader and magazine average scores, and brief reader comments discuss the gameplay and experience. Finally, a small highlight focuses on Card Fight, Vanguard, Coldcept 2nd, noting its significant jump to 2nd place in the rankings. Overall, the page serves as a dynamic consumer guide, reflecting the opinions and favorites of the Dreamcast player base. This page continues the bi-weekly Reader's Race rankings, showing games from position 31 downwards based on reader votes. The new soft section introduces 3 potential contenders for the main rankings. First up is Fish Eyes Wild, a fishing simulation game praised for its exceptionally realistic fish movements and beautiful graphics, though some found it potentially challenging for beginners. Next is Taisen Net Gimmick, described as a puzzle game featuring a large cast of characters. While the roster is extensive, player comments mention repetitive gameplay and graphics, questioning the overall polish. Finally, Seiyuri Inoue Roommate is a dating sim or visual novel, noted as part of a popular series. Reviews highlight the focus on dialogue, though some found the graphics simple and the pacing slow, wishing for more interactive conversations. Also highlighted is the DC Watch title, featuring Coldcept 2nd, which has made a significant jump to 2nd place. Player excitement is palpable, with comments focusing on the depth of strategy, the thrill of network battles, and the enjoyment derived from collecting and building card decks. The game is seen as a highly strategic and engaging title, especially in multiplayer. This page highlights several popular Dreamcast titles, featuring detailed looks at 5 games alongside the lower ranks of the ongoing bi-weekly Reader's Race. Prominently featured are Phantasy Star Online Ver.2 at rank 5, praised for its extensive additions and system improvements, although connectivity requirements are noted. Let's Play Golf 2 is featured at rank 15, with comments suggesting its longevity and the engaging World Tour mode. Sonic Adventure 2, ranked 21, is highlighted for its speed, controls, and visuals, with readers noting the improved difficulty compared to the first game and the fun of the action stages. Thus, Shenmue 2, coming in at rank 37, is recommended especially for newcomers to the series, with emphasis on its affordability, the option for English audio, and the immersive world. Finally, Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, at rank 206, is noted for its improved balance over the original, though some wished for more characters. The right side of the page continues the reader's race rankings, listing games from rank 89 downwards, showcasing the diverse range of titles popular with Dreamcast players. This page continues the bi-weekly reader's race rankings on the left side, picking up from the previous page and listing games from rank 147 downwards. It showcases a wide variety of Dreamcast titles that readers were voting on at the time. The main focus of the page is a featured preview or review of Crazy Taxi 2. Titled, "If You Buy This You Won't Miss," it highlights the sequel to the popular arcade and Dreamcast game. The section notes that Crazy Taxi 2 is exclusive to the Dreamcast and features renewed characters, maps, and adds new actions like the Crazy Hop. The developers mention the addition of the group passenger feature and the jump function, encouraging players to enjoy the evolution of the game. The reviewer notes the simple rules and fitting soundtrack from bands like The Offspring and Bad Religion made the original fresh. For Crazy Taxi 2, opinions vary, with some finding the game more polished while others felt it lacked the same raw impact as the first. The reader average score is a very high 9.047, while the magazine's score is 8.66. Reader comments praise the fun of group passengers and the overall enjoyment, with some mentioning the improved difficulty and new ways to play thanks to the three-dimensional courses. Screenshots show the game's vibrant graphics and chaotic taxi action, including a car mid-air during a jump. This page kicks off the 7th installment of the Masterpieces of Dreamcast series, focusing on the House of the Dead 2. This classic light gun shooter from Sega, released in March 1999, is highlighted with its genre, player count, and support for various peripherals including the crucial light gun. The reader average score is an impressive 9.0468, significantly higher than the magazine's score of 7.66, indicating strong fan reception. The page features an interview with Ken Mikimoto, described as a key figure in the early Naomi and Dreamcast era. He discusses the game's development, particularly the transition from the Naomi arcade board to the Dreamcast, which was achieved in a remarkably short 2 months. Mikimoto emphasizes their focus on achieving realistic graphics and the core exhilaration of the shooting gameplay as secrets to its popularity. They also touch upon elements like the splitting mechanic and the challenges faced during development and porting. On the right side, the bi-weekly reader's race continues, listing games ranked from 205 downwards, detailing their genre, publisher, release information, and reader average scores, showcasing the ongoing popularity contest among Dreamcast titles. This page continues the reader's race rankings, presenting the lower half of the F and G lists. Commentary highlights significant movement, with Shenmue 2 making a huge leap up the charts, showing its growing popularity among players. Conversely, School King Yamazaki has dropped significantly, landing at the very bottom of the JARG rankings, a decline noted with some amusement. Screenshots from Shenmue 2 and School King Yamazaki visually support the ranking commentary. Looking ahead, the page previews upcoming software releases. Notable titles discussed include the action-packed Outrigger and the intriguing Flaming Holy Mother, alongside the promising party game Komaku Party. Screenshots from these upcoming titles are shown, giving players a taste of what to expect. The overall sentiment expressed is excitement for the direction of the rankings and the quality of games on the horizon, particularly praising Shenmue 2 and the illustrations in Komaku Party. This page dives into upcoming Dreamcast software releases and engages readers with prediction contests and feedback. The top section previews titles expected for the Summer Showdown, including Komaku Party, Guru Guru Onsen 2, Outrigger, Dabitsuku 2, Super Robot Wars Alpha, and Shenmue 2, building excitement for the season. Several new adventure games releasing on July 26th are highlighted with screenshots and brief reviews. Himitsu der ga Itanatsu, Yume no Tsubasa, Fate of Heart, and Fragrant Style. Viewer comments range from appreciating story settings and character emotions, to noting repetitive gameplay, or finding titles suited for specific demographics. The action title, Heavy Metal Geomatrix, is also previewed, with feedback noting varied gameplay, but characters lacking personality despite good designs. Reader interaction is central, with sections dedicated to submitting feedback, participating in prediction contests for upcoming software releases like Kanaria Kono Omoi wo Uta ni Nozete, and predicting the ranking of peripherals like the one for GetBase 2 in the magazine's odds table. There's also an announcement of winners for past contests, and details on how readers can submit their entries and win special prizes like DC Software and Vimas. A table listing rankings for various Dreamcast peripherals and items is also included. This page continues the Dreamcast software reviews, starting with an explanation of the scoring system, and introducing the magazine's review staff, which includes female users, regular writers, and guest writers. The spotlight then falls on the upcoming romance-adventure game, Canaria, Kono Omoi wo Uta ni Nosete, scheduled for an August 23rd release. The game is described as a romance-adventure, with a projected playtime of around 4 hours per playthrough. Reviewer comments suggest the story has some uneven pacing and awkward character actions at times, but the character art is appealing. The game received an average score, indicating it's a decent title worth considering if the premise appeals to you. Following this, the page shifts to check out new releases in the Pachinko and Pachizlo genre. Pachizlo Emperor Dream Slot Heiwa SP, released on July 26th, brings popular Heiwa slot machines home, focusing on authentic gameplay mechanics and features designed for strategy and data analysis. Reviewers found it faithfully replicates the arcade experience. The August 2nd release, CR Hisatsu Shigatonen Pashite Konamage, is a pachinko title based on the popular TV series. It aims to reproduce the feel of the physical machines, including detailed presentation of key moments and features to aid players in strategizing. Both titles are highlighted as offering a way to enjoy the excitement of the haul at home, with potential for earning digital prizes. This page showcases strategy guides available for popular Dreamcast titles. First up is the expanded Perfect Guide for Phantasy Star Online Ver 2. Building upon the previous guide, this version dives deep into the new content introduced in Ver 2. It features detailed area maps to navigate the challenging environments, comprehensive enemy data covering behaviors and weaknesses, strategies for tackling the fearsome boss battles, secrets behind mag evolution, information on rare items and how to find them, and a breakdown of sectionoids. This guide is packed with valuable information, spanning 384 pages. Below that, we have the Crazy Taxi 2 Driver's Manual. This guide is designed to help players master the chaotic streets of Crazy Taxi 2. It provides illustrated explanations for pulling off those crucial driving techniques, offers map strategies tailored to each area, guides you on challenging records after achieving easy clears, and reveals the secrets to completely conquering the hidden Crazy Pyramid mode. It also uncovers other hidden elements and details about the game's internet services, totaling 128 pages of driving wisdom. Both guides promise essential help for maximizing your experience with these classic Dreamcast games. This page tackles the pressing issue of the current state of online gaming on the Dreamcast. The article discusses the unfortunate trend of network service endings, attributing it primarily to the discontinuation of Dreamcast production and the evolving landscape of online technology. Featured screenshots show action from various online titles, including the highly successful Phantasy Star Online Ver 2, the fast-paced racing of Sega Rally 2, and the intense battles of Capcom vs. SNK 2. The page includes a detailed table summarizing the status of numerous online games, indicating which services have ended, are slated to end soon, or are still active, along with details on fees and broadband compatibility. Specific examples highlighted include Sega Rally 2's service ending earlier in the year, and the closure of services for popular games like Golf Tsuki and Gundam Battle Online. The article also notes that some services are winding down, like Atsumare Guru Guru Onsen BB, which is offering free play before its scheduled closure. While services like Capcom's matching platform are mentioned as still active, the overall sentiment reflects the challenging reality of maintaining online communities on the platform, as services are progressively shutting down. This page features an interview with the director, Yamashita Nobuyuki, of Hitmaker, discussing the upcoming closure of the network service for Cyber Troopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram on Dreamcast on August 31st. He reflects on the game's history since its December 1999 launch, noting that while player numbers decreased over time compared to the release, a core group of dedicated players remained, especially active on weekends. The interview highlights the technical achievement of implementing 1/60th frame online battles, a feat considered difficult at the time, despite challenges like the relatively high connection fees. Yamashita expresses pride in what they accomplished with the service, even though its end is regrettable. The page also looks ahead to the future of online gaming, referencing Sega's Open Device Initiative, illustrated by Guru Guru Onsen 2's planned cross-platform play between arcade, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, and PC. Other companies are mentioned as continuing in the online space, with Square Enix pushing Final Fantasy Exe as a network RPG on the PlayStation 2, and Capcom facilitating cross-platform battles between the Dreamcast and PlayStation 2 versions of Capcom vs. SNK2. The page concludes by asking readers about the costs of game development and soliciting questions for the Dorimaga Naze Nani exploration team. This page announces a special summer all-staff service campaign tied to the release of the magazine Raspberry. It's the third time they've run this popular service, offering a variety of items like newly drawn illustrations and cover art from both Raspberry and Dorimaga. Application deadline is approaching. The service offers 5 items. 1. An illustration from Missing Blue featuring Mari and Alice. 2. A new illustration by Kashiwagi Hasumi from the PC game Green Green. 3. An illustration from Natural 2 Duo DVD edition, originally a poster in Raspberry, featuring the game's twin heroines, Chizuru and Sora. 4. A Missing Blue desktop accessory collection for Windows, including voice data and wallpapers. 5. A summary. Guru Guru Creature. Illustration by Yumiko Uekusa, depicting characters enjoying water sports in swimsuits. Instructions are provided on how to apply for these goods, requiring the use of a specific application form and payment via postal transfer. There are also notes about the application process and delivery. This page continues the exciting all-staff service campaign from the previous spread, offering more exclusive items for fans. As a Dreamcast veteran, I can tell you this service was always a highlight, giving us unique glimpses into the games and the creative minds behind Dorimaga. Here, you'll find a fantastic lineup of telecards featuring exclusive illustrations. We've got magazine segments like Dori-chan's Review and Something Yoshimatsu's Theater getting their own art, often featuring characters in cool summer swimsuits. But the real gems for gamers are the pieces tied directly to titles you know and love. There's striking cover art from the Asios version of Shenmue, highlighting Shenhua's beauty. You can also get exclusive illustrations based on visual novels and simulations popular on the system, like The Apprentice Angels from Candy Stripe, a lovely wedding dress scene from Roommate, charming characters from Welcome to Pia Carrot 2.5, a rare pairing from Comic Party, and never-before-seen character art from Canvas sepia-colored motif. These are not just simple pictures. They're often unique interpretations or scenes you couldn't find anywhere else, making them true collector's items. The application deadline is fast approaching on August 31, 2001, so if you wanted these pieces of Dreamcast history, you had to act fast. Delivery was scheduled for later in the year. This page features a special report where the Dorimaga team visits Square. The focus is on Square's future plans, particularly their new online network business, and the upcoming Final Fantasy Exe, which is highlighted as an online RPG and compared to Phantasy Star Online. The page includes visuals related to the Final Fantasy series, showing characters from Final Fantasy X, scenes from Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within, and box art for Final Fantasy Essen and Tetramaster, alongside the Play Online service logo. The article details the reporting team's visit to Square's building, capturing their excitement upon arrival and their impressions inside the company's reception area. It gives a sense of the magazine staff venturing into untrodden territory to get the scoop on Square's big moves in the online gaming space. This page continues the special report on Dorimaga's visit to Square, focusing on their ambitious new venture, Play Online. The team is welcome to Square, and their business division manager discusses the importance of this online network service, emphasizing it's a serious undertaking, not just a casual project. Play Online is presented as a comprehensive platform launching on PlayStation 2, with future PC support being considered. It's broken down into 3 core areas: online entertainment, online games, and online communication. The online game component is headlined by the highly anticipated Final Fantasy Exe, the very first online entry in the legendary RPG series. A screenshot shows players battling monsters in a fantasy setting. The article confirms beta testing for FFXI is underway, and the full release is slated for March of the following year. Another online game is Tetramaster, a card game spin-off based on the minigame from Final Fantasy IX. Online entertainment will include various content, such as popular manga like Hikaru no Go, integrated within the service. Online communication provides features like friend lists and messaging. The Dorimaga team gets a closer look at the Play Online interface and feels assured by Square's dedication to this new online frontier. This page continues the special report on Square's ambitious new online platform, PlayOnline, which they consider their first venture into this business realm. It's highlighted as a comprehensive environment for online entertainment, games, and communication, initially launching on PlayStation 2, with PC development running in parallel. The discussion focuses heavily on Final Fantasy Sheking, the groundbreaking first online entry in the beloved RPG series. Square confirms FC's development is proceeding smoothly, having been in progress for almost a year, despite its announcement right after Final Fantasy X led some to believe it was a recent project. They aim for a release early next spring. The Square representative addresses the relationship between the Final Fantasy series and PlayOnline, stating that while FFXI is online, they are not abandoning traditional standalone Final Fantasy titles. The series will continue to evolve in various formats. Comparing FFXI to Phantasy Star Online, Square expresses respect for Spexo's achievements, but emphasizes that FFXI will be a different type of game, though specifics are being kept under wraps for now. Visuals on the page include a portrait of the Square representative, a photo possibly showing the interview session, and striking screenshots of Final Fantasy Shi gameplay, featuring characters battling monsters in a fantasy setting. The next page dives deeper into Square's PlayOnline platform, including details on the upcoming beta test and release schedule. It features a screenshot of the online Tetra Master card game, confirming it will be playable right from the initial beta phase, and will include competitive online features like rankings. The article discusses the technical requirements, outlining modem compatibility, including acknowledging Dreamcast's modems, and the future support for faster connections like ISDN and ADSL. A photo shows the beta test kit box, highlighting that only 500 participants were selected for the first phase, suggesting high competition. Crucially, the page lays out the planned timeline. The first PlayOnline beta phase starting in mid-September 2001, expanding in October, with the Final Fantasy Shillim beta test slated for December 2001, and both PlayOnline and Final Fantasy Shillim planned for full release in March-April 2002. The post-interview notes offer a fascinating perspective, contrasting Square's previously distant image with a more approachable reality, especially regarding their enthusiasm for network gaming. The reviewer believes Square's foray into online services, particularly with PlayOnline and FFXI, could be a strong contender in the genre and potentially resonate with Sega and Dreamcast fans looking for deep online experiences. This page brings us exciting news for fans of fast-paced mech combat, with a deep dive into Cyber Troopers Virtual on Force. The article highlights that this is this summer's other big hit not to be missed, suggesting high anticipation. Key reveals include dazzling new screenshots showing intense 2v2 battles, emphasizing the game's power, more powerful, and appealing character designs, more cute. We get introduced to new playable virtualoids entering the fray, such as Baldemeola and Angeline, along with an updated version of a familiar face, Specinaf 13. The text teases what magical attacks Angeline's rod might unleash, and ponders the meaning behind Specinaf, gaining the number 13. A significant new feature previewed is a card system, showing images of VOU pilot license card prototypes in different colors, green, red, blue, hinting at persistent player data or customization options. The development status is stated as 70% complete, confirming solid progress. The article expresses excitement about the smooth development and promises to continue delivering the latest information and visuals for this highly anticipated arcade title. This page continues our look at the highly anticipated arcade title, Cyber Troopers Virtual on Force, featuring insights from director Nobuyuki Yamashita. The article focuses on the recent third location test, confirming the game is now 70% complete. Exciting highlights from the location test include the full implementation of the card system, which acts as external memory, allowing players to test various features. A significant addition is a dedicated one-player mode, offering a different way to experience the game. The page details several virtualoids. The Ball series is showcased, highlighting its ERL, ejectable remote launcher, system for versatile attacks like Beam Claw and Reflect Laser, and introducing the new Baldemeola model. Angeline makes an appearance, demonstrating powerful ice magic, including a striking Ice Dragon summon attack. Finally, Specinaf 13, with its strong devilish image, is featured in both its standard Sin form and a new war type, promising diverse combat styles. Screenshots throughout the article display these virtualoids in action, confirming the visual fidelity and dynamic gameplay expected from the series. The next page features a deep dive into the simulation/adventure game Comic Party, developed by Aquaplus. This title throws you into the intense world of doujin, self-published manga, creation and distribution, specifically focusing on preparing for the massive summer convention, Comiket. The article is framed around the idea of becoming a more charismatic and successful participant in this scene within just 4 months. Released on August 9th, Comic Party blends visual novel storytelling with simulation elements. You'll need to manage your character's schedule, skills, and finances as you work towards your convention goals, as hinted at by the status bar and weekly schedule shown in the screenshots. The page includes various character illustrations and gameplay screenshots depicting interactions and the bustling convention environment. Several quotes from what seem like in-game characters or reflections on the doujin lifestyle highlight the dedication and sometimes frantic pace involved.
From having no time to rest, to worrying about friends consumed by the activity.
It's clear the game aims to capture the passion and challenges of this unique subculture.
A small note confirms this Dreamcast version has reached 100% completion.
This page continues the coverage of Comic Party, outlining the path to becoming a top doujin artist. The main goal discussed is achieving the veteran doujin artist title by selling over 600 books before the summer Comiket, with lower sales granting different ranks like newcomer or intermediate. The core gameplay loop involves creating your doujin work, heavily relying on command inputs using the analog stick. Efficiently hitting multiple inputs is key, and there are specific challenges like reversing input for certain panel types. The game also simulates the unpredictable nature of doujin culture by incorporating genre trends, although their popularity isn't always guaranteed. A notable tip covered is the trade-off between speed and quality. While intentionally failing command inputs can increase your page count faster, it severely damages your work's quality. The advice is that this risky tactic might be minimally useful early on, but is generally detrimental and should be avoided to maintain overall quality. Screenshots show the work progress screen, displaying page count, physical strength, and the critical quality meter. This guide for Comic Party doujin artists offers strategic advice. Point 1 stresses approaching girls weekly, especially after manuscript completion, as crucial events occur then. Point 2 prioritizes manuscript creation above all other activities, suggesting stats-boosting activities like exercise should be done when free. Point 3 details the benefits of purchasing items, such as stat recovery drinks, efficiency-boosting shreds, and tools for manuscript quality. The guide also covers Hell Mode, which halves focus but multiplies physical strength drain, and how to utilize screen tones. Finally, it outlines factors affecting sales, including protagonist stats, work quality, recognition, cover type, page count, price, and sales sense. Dorimaga's Comic Party Guide details 5 player paths for developing a doujin artist. These paths, defined by 10 answer choices, shape character development and gameplay. Master of Layout prioritizes storytelling, while Moimo Artist emphasizes drawing skills. Careful Finishing focuses on polish, cover art on sales appeal, and booth layout on presentation. Each path influences character stats, offering varied routes to success. The page also announces an in-game concert by Asahi Sakurai and advertises a strategy fanbook with in-depth guides. This guide focuses on developing a relationship with Mizuki Takase in Comic Party, emphasizing a connection more than friends, less than lovers. The key is to follow your own choices, regardless of her reactions. Mizuki's profile highlights her interests: sports, tea, dislikes, otaku types, preferred type of man, sincere, and skills, sports, cooking. Key locations for interactions include her house, the station front, the park, and the university. 6 essential events are crucial to her route: an invitation to her home, a tennis match, an encounter at the Comiket, a pajama event, a pivotal question at another Comiket, and a summer festival appearance. These events progress the relationship from initial interactions to emotional milestones, ultimately leading to a deeper connection. Minami Makimura, a character from Comic Party, is a kind and somewhat clumsy woman with a love for housework and knitting. Her route in the game involves building a relationship by visiting the preparation office and attending pre-event setups. Key events include a date, assisting with event setups, and helping out at the Comiket venue.
Players should be mindful of shopping trips and phone calls to trigger these events.
Other crucial moments encompass a shared umbrella at the station, a beach outing, and a moment during the summer Comiket. These events, which span from early April to mid-August, showcase important moments in her storyline, emphasizing the player's dedication to supporting and building a relationship with her. This page features Yui Nagawa, a standout character in the game Comic Party, known for her intense passion for doujin activities and her ability to pull others into her energetic pace. Her profile reveals key details. She's a Type B blood type born on December 7th, stands at 155 centimeters, with measurements of 79.55/80. She thrives on hot manga, burning anime, and mo games, while intensely disliking anyone who dismisses doujin culture. She's drawn to passionate and persistent individuals, and possesses unique skills in doujin genres, survival, and shooting. The key to progressing her route is simple. Don't resist her wild energy, just go with it. Her main appearances occur at the hotel the day before Comic-Con. Her story unfolds through several events, kicking off as early as May. These include exploring Tokyo and encountering unexpected situations, a frantic rush to finish a doujin book involving a taxi ride, a wild time at an amusement park that costs a significant amount, a chaotic rampage during summer Comic-Con where being her unit partner is key, attending a summer festival which also requires cash, and even watching baseball for free at a dome stadium provided your doujin rank is high enough. These events showcase her unpredictable yet captivating personality, and are crucial steps in her storyline. This page introduces Amy Ohaba, known as the rumored Empress of Comic Party. Her profile lists her birthday as March 20th, height at 158 centimeters, and measurements of 82.56/84. She is Type B blood type, and loves fish while intensely disliking cockroaches. Her ideal partner is someone cool who can make her stand out, and her favorite doujin genre is whatever is currently popular. Her special skill is drawing manga, and she heads the circle. Cat or fish? The key to her route is to improve your own skills, as she won't approach you if you lack proven ability. Trying to approach her early can actually lower affection. Key events in her story include random encounters in town between May and June, a required visit to her booth at the June Comic Party after reaching newcomer doujin artist rank or higher, and potentially forming a unit with her at the July Comic Party under specific conditions to make approaching her possible. Later events involve studying with her at home in August, requiring a promise made beforehand, an automatic event at the summer festival where she brings you along, and making the rounds at the summer Comic-Con after reaching mid-level doujin artist rank or higher. These events reveal more about the Empress's personality and her surprising weaknesses. Aya Hasebe, a shy but skilled artist, is the focus. Born June 12th, she's 162 centimeters tall, with measurements of 88.58/87 and AB blood type. She enjoys creative series illustrations and dislikes scary dogs, seeking a fatherly partner. She's part of Jamming Bookstore and excels at sketching. To pursue her, focus on creative series events starting in summer. Find her booth at comic parties. Increasing affection leads to her phone number and subtle changes at the art supply store. Key events: June 6th Comic Party Encounter, June 9th Art Supply Store Discussion, July 7th Booth Setup, July 14th Amusement Park Phone Call, and August 12th Summer Comic-Con, where forming a unit with her becomes possible. Chisa Tsukamoto, a character from Comic Party, is a dutiful daughter working at a printing shop, known for her nya-nya catchphrase and cat-like traits. Her profile lists her birthday as February 22nd, with measurements of 79.55/80. She enjoys naps and her parents, dislikes hot food, and desires a fatherly partner. Her key locations are the Tsukamoto printing shop, the station, and the park. To advance her storyline, players must prioritize early manuscript completion and attend Saturday events, as Sundays are her off days. Key events include a chance encounter at the station, May 12th-27, park conversations on non-Saturday holidays, helping with short story prep at Tsukamoto Printing, July 7th, and a potential mishap scenario at Comic Party, July 8th. Players can also date her at the amusement park, July 15th, and aid her at Summer Comic-Con, August 12th. The provided guide offers event descriptions with accompanying screenshots. This page features Reiko Haga from Comic Party, an energetic college student passionate about cosplay. Her profile lists her birthday as October 31st, height at 165 centimeters, and measurements at 82.58/80. Her blood type is Apasha. She enjoys cosplay, boys and men's manga, and dislikes exams and studying. She's looking for a partner like Gash Bell and enjoys collecting figures. As a strategy point,
Ryo works part-time at a nearby game center, which is a key location. Interactions are easiest after the May Comic event. While not requiring high stats, be mindful in the Shura mode later in the game. Key events to pursue her include meeting her at the cosplay area during the May Comic, May 6th. Encountering her again at the game center after May 12th, potentially walking her home after her shift. Meeting her friends at the June Comic June 3rd, a trio who are also characters from previous Leaf Aquaplus works. Seeing her and her friends again at the July Comic July 8th. Attending the game center between July 14th and August 26th for summer events, including seeing her in a swimsuit. Experiencing a special event at the Summer Comic August 12th, if you've selected the fighting game genre where she provides service related to her favorite series. Screenshots depict various interactions, including her at a game center, at Comic with her friends, and in her swimsuit, illustrating key moments in her event path. This page focuses on Subaru Mikage, a key character and potential love interest in the game Comic Party. Subaru is energetic, resilient, and loves shonen anime, sweets, and martial arts. She dislikes exams and those who disturb peace, seeking a hard-working and ambitious partner. Her route is challenging, requiring trust and the formation of a unit after meeting her at the May Comic. Consistent weekly interactions are crucial to trigger key events, including encounters at the July Comic, summer outings, and a significant showdown event in August after manuscript submission. Screenshots showcase events such as conventions, home visits, beach trips, and a tense confrontation, illustrating the path of Subaru's storyline. This page is a feature spread on the upcoming Dreamcast title, Shenmue II. The headline declares the game is the last king of DC Software, nearing its climax and countdown to release. Hong Kong is waiting for Ryo Hazuki as he arrives, pursuing his father's killer, Lan Di. The feature focuses on the events that happen immediately after Ryo's arrival in the bustling city. The article highlights Ryo's journey through expansive areas like Wan Chai and Aberdeen, emphasizing key story events and system mechanics. It details incidents Ryo encounters, starting with a major one right after arriving. His bag containing crucial items is stolen. Screenshots illustrate this initial setback, showing Ryo talking to locals trying to find the thief. Gathering information from people is shown to be a core part of the investigation, but it comes with risks, potentially leading to combat encounters. The third scene depicted shows Ryo discovering the thief, a young boy named Wong, which triggers a chase sequence utilizing the game's QuickTime event system. That a checkpoint notes the return of Ryo's iconic notebook, which is vital for keeping track of leads and information, now improved with an icon selection feature for easier navigation. The page conveys the sense of immediate danger and urgency Ryo faces upon reaching Hong Kong, pushing the player directly into the core conflict and investigation. The game data confirms the impending release and the substantial content spread across multiple discs. Following the pursuit of the thief Wong, Shenmue II's Scene 4 features a 1-on-2 free battle against Sam and Larry. Combat controls are similar to the first game, with X for punch, A for kick, B for throws, and Y for defense. The R trigger technique system has been removed. Failing QuickTime events, QTES, results in losing the target. Winning the battle in Scene 5 leads Wong to guide Ryo to the stolen bag using the new chase system, an automatic navigation system that follows the targeted character. Upon retrieving his bag, Wong provides a map leading Ryo to the Hurai Ryoko Sha in Wan Chai, a key location for further investigation. The article emphasizes the importance of heading to Wan Chai immediately. A pre-order bonus of a Virtua Fighter Music CD is also highlighted. This page continues the guide for Shenmue II, detailing Ryo's journey into the heart of Wan Chai. Scene 6 shows Ryo using the map from Wong to navigate towards the Wise Men's Quarter, passing through Aberdeen's Harbor and Queen Street. The article emphasizes the expansion of the playable area. A key checkpoint highlights the pawn shops scattered around, identifiable by a goldfish icon. Players can sell collectible items obtained from gacha machines here to earn money, crucial for progression, as various shops offer different prices. Scene 7 depicts Ryo arriving at Fortune's Pier, the location of the Fortune's Pier, Urai Ryoko Sha Hotel. This isn't just for getting information. Ryo can actually stay here, though it costs money. The new Money Talk system is introduced, allowing players to pay people for useful information. Another checkpoint points out notable spots in Wan Chai, including a fortune teller, which seems to be the same girl encountered in Aberdeen, and a tomato mart, featuring a new character, hinted to be a relative of the vendor in Yokosuka. Finally, Scene 8 focuses on reaching the initial goal, Yan Tin Apartments. Following directions from the introduction letter, Ryo checks the mailbox and discovers that Sha Hua resides in room 205. The page concludes by teasing the identity of the mysterious figure associated with her. This page delves into the intense mid-game progression of Super Robot Wars Alpha for Dreamcasts, covering the story developments from episodes 28 through 35. The article highlights the escalating conflict, particularly focusing on the Macross units. Screenshots showcase the SDF-1 Macross Fortress in its floating city form and transforming into its attack configuration, alongside impressive demo movies of these sequences. The playback section recaps the strategic situation, detailing how the Earth Federation Force's independent unit, Londo Bell, splits into 3 groups to adapt to the deepening crisis. New threats emerge, including the Empire associated with Gato and a nuclear strike on Solomon, alongside the appearance of the Drake Army from Baston Well. Amidst this chaos, Londo Bell heads towards South Akateria Island, hinted to witness a significant event there. The page also features screenshots of iconic units like Voltes V, Evangelion units, and the newly participating Negbreaker unit, which seems to make a brief, impactful appearance before vanishing. A section on the reservation bonus shows a special Metal R1 mobile strap available for pre-orders, noting its limited availability. Game data confirms the Dreamcast platform, an August 30th release date, a price of 7,800 yen, and that it is an SLG Plus RPG title requiring a 4X memory card. This page continues our look into the mid-game of Super Robot Wars Alpha, picking up the story beats from episode 28 onward. Following the events on the previous page, the Londo Bell team arrives at South Ataria Island and encounters the giant battleship Macross and Captain Global. However, the peace is short-lived as a powerful angel attacks, leading to a fierce battle where the Evangelion units, including Unit 01 and Unit 02, are pushed to their limit and incapacitated after the angel demonstrates a terrifying regenerative ability, splitting into 2 forms. The conflict deepens in episode 29, which features a route split depending on the player's path, Super Robot or Real Robot. This pivotal episode sees the return of the protagonist's missing lover, now allied with Ingram and piloting stolen SRX project machines. The unit piloted by the lover and Ingram/ILM differs between the routes, with the Grungest Kai making its appearance as Ilm's powerful machine on the real route. This confrontation adds a significant emotional layer to the escalating war. The article also highlights a potent new ability unlocked around episode 30. The Unison attack for EVA Unit 01 and Unit 02. This devastating combination attack, requiring synchronization between Shinji and Asuka, replicates the iconic anime scene and deals massive damage. However, players should note this attack is only available if a specific route is taken in episode 30. The screenshots effectively showcase the intensity of the angel battle and the dynamic visual flair of the new Unison attack. This page dives further into the mid-game progression of Super Robot Wars Alpha for Dreamcast, covering key events from episode 30 onwards, towards the overarching range of episode 35. We see the highly anticipated rematch against the 7th Angel, Israfel, in a scenario titled Moment, Heart, Repeat. This episode focuses on Shinji and Asuka's intensive training to synchronize their minds and movements, culminating in the powerful unison attack needed to simultaneously destroy Israfel's 2 cores. Success requires mastering this unique attack and applying it effectively. Following this pivotal battle, the game features another significant route split based on a choice made during the encounter with the Angel. One path involves facing the Angel with the Evangelion units, while another scenario, possibly linked to this split or occurring concurrently, is highlighted: Spirit Possession. This section focuses on Masaki and his mech, the Psybuster, gaining a major power-up through possession. This unlocks potent new abilities, including the visually impressive Cosmo Nova attack, signaling a turning point for the Psybuster's combat potential. The page also gives a quick look at other units, like the Red Point Huckabine X, and teases new weapon animations, specifically highlighting the Grungas Type 2S K2 Rekka Ken. The narrative continues to build, pushing the Londo Bell team towards new challenges and unlocking formidable new capabilities. This section of Super Robot Wars Alpha details the mid-game introduction of the Macross series, specifically focusing on episodes 31 and 32. The arrival of the Zentradi, a formidable alien race, sparks conflict when the Macross's main cannon inadvertently attracts their attention. Episode 31 shows the Londo Bell team defending against an attack,
with the Skull Squadron deployed to face the Zentradi. Episode 32 features the Zentradi invasion of South Eteria Island, prompting Captain Global to initiate the Macross's atmospheric escape, supported by the Skull Squadron. Characters from Gundam Wing also appear. The episode concludes with the Macross's spacefold. A key element is a storyline divergence based on the Macross franchise. Players choose between routes based on the original TV series and the movie Do You Remember Love, impacting the narrative and character interactions, especially around episode 35, differentiating Hikaru Ichijo and Lin Minmei's roles. The page includes screenshots showcasing battles and character interactions. The next page continues showcasing Super Robot Wars Alpha's mid-game, covering episodes 28 through 35, with a strong focus on the Macross saga following the accidental fold. Episode 33, titled Armed Attack and Transformation, is a major event. After being sent to the outer reaches of the solar system by the fold, the Macross is pursued by Britai's Zentradi fleet. To counter the overwhelming enemy force, Captain Global makes the critical decision to transform the Macross into its formidable attack mode to unleash the main cannon. Players are treated to stunning new demo movies depicting the Macross surfacing from water and its complex transformation process, both highlighted as mid-game visual spectacles. The page also touches on the fierce battles against massive Zentradi ships like the Svarsalan, and includes a nod to the original story, with Hikaru and Minmei getting trapped inside the ship. The London Bell team's struggle against the Zentradi ramps up significantly during this phase. The next page dives deeper into the mid-game of Super Robot Wars Alpha, picking up with episode 33, Encounter with a Natural Enemy. This segment focuses on the Macross side of the story, where the crew of the Macross, along with YF-19 pilots Isamu Dyson, Noriko Takaya, Kasumi Takaya, and young Apollope, face the daunting threat of massive space monsters. The game really highlights the scale difference, making the colossal size of these monsters palpable in the battles. Following that, episode 34, titled Hidden Intent to Kill, reveals a shocking twist: Ingram Priskin's defection. This is a pivotal moment where Ingram reveals his true colors, forcing the SRX team, including Ryusei Date and Violetta Vadim, to confront their former comrade and mentor. The page includes screenshots of these dramatic confrontations. Finally, there's a useful note about the YF-19 Valkyrie, explaining that its weapon ranges change depending on whether it's in fighter or Gerwalk mode, adding a layer of tactical depth to using the unit. Super Robot Wars Alpha episodes 28 to 35 reach a critical point. Episode 35 reveals Ingram Priskin as an Arrogator agent, targeting Aya Kobayashi and enraging Ryusei Date. The RGUN is shown in action. Another key battle features Volts versus the powerful battle beast Zumion, where the Verslash proves ineffective. Gameplay includes the ability to interrupt combat animations. The Macross storyline covers episode 35, Satan Fight, where a Zentradi attack disrupts a Minmei concert. The Macross faces threats from various factions while journeying to Earth. Inside the ship, battles and civilian interactions are highlighted. The next issue will contain a full strategy guide. This page focuses on key systems in Virtua Fighter 4, providing essential battle tactics. The page highlights two crucial mechanics: evade action and ukemi, also known as reversal or recovery actions. The first section details evade action, explaining how moving sideways with the directional input helps avoid attacks. Success depends on the opponent attacking and the direction of your evade matching the attack direction. A successful evade leaves you with no recovery frames, while a failed one leaves you vulnerable. The page advises using evade action when disadvantaged and immediately counterattacking upon success. It also touches on counters to evasion, suggesting throw attacks are effective against opponents attempting to evade. The second section explains ukemi, recovery, from a knockdown state. It describes two main types: headspring recovery, P plus K plus G, and sidestep recovery, up or down plus P plus K plus G. Headspring recovery returns you to a standing state but can be slow, while sidestep recovery puts you in a crouching state, useful for evading follow-up attacks like ground throws. The page emphasizes reacting quickly after a knockdown and choosing the appropriate recovery based on the opponent's likely follow-up attack. Screenshots illustrate the different actions and their outcomes. This guide provides fundamental techniques for players looking to improve in Virtua Fighter 4. This page is a character guide for Akira Yuki in Virtua Fighter 4, focusing on his core strategies and techniques. It highlights Akira's aggressive, oppressive playstyle,
centered around powerful attacks. The guide breaks down Akira's game plan into key strategies, starting with the foundational use of Sentetsu-ku/Iron Mountain. It explains using this move to initiate offense, following up with quick attacks or throws if it hits, and reacting with evade or Raho Choshu/Raho Elbow if it's blocked. Screenshots illustrate these scenarios, including capitalizing on an opponent who crumples from a Sentetsu-ku hit by following up with a powerful combo starter like Hokushin, Collapse Tremor. The second strategy focuses on developing offense from Junshin Kushu, Body Check Palm. It details using the follow-up command P+K to launch the opponent and pursue wall combos. The guide also covers options against opponents who block Body Check Palm, such as mixing in throws or using the Renradan/Twin Lotus Cannon follow-up. A section on skill enhancement discusses mastering follow-ups after breaking an opponent's guard or causing a knockdown, recommending moves like Mukokuzan, Fierce Tiger Climbing Mountain, and specific combinations after Body Check Palm to maximize damage and maintain pressure. The page emphasizes adapting follow-ups based on the opponent's recovery actions or defensive state. Screenshots throughout the page demonstrate the execution and outcome of these core techniques. This page is a comprehensive guide for playing as Jackie Bryant in Virtua Fighter 4, detailing his strengths and core strategies. Jackie is presented as a central offensive character in the series, known for his straightforward yet effective basic attacks like punches, kicks, and elbows, making him relatively easy and stress-free to play. The guide outlines two main strategic approaches. The first focuses on utilizing Jackie's traditional quick attacks, like punch or down plus punch, to seize the initiative, pressuring opponents with elbows, and employing throws against guarding opponents. It emphasizes confirming hits into combos and using mix-ups after staggering the opponent. The second strategy delves into techniques incorporating Jackie's back-turn stance, a key new element in Virtua Fighter 4. Specific back-turn combos are highlighted for applying vertical pressure and mixing up attacks. The guide also touches upon the blind knuckle move and notes situations where Jackie might be at a disadvantage after certain hits, requiring adaptation. Finally, a skill-enhancing tip explains the nature of Baxiao, a parry/counter move effective against unguarded attacks. Mastering Baxiao allows Jackie to interrupt the opponent's offense and immediately follow up with his own attacks, adding another layer to his versatile Jeet Kunedu style. The page features several screenshots illustrating these techniques and concepts in action within the game. This page is a detailed guide for playing as Sarah Bryant in Virtua Fighter 4. It focuses on her defining characteristics, particularly her sharp kicking techniques and overall speed, which allow her to overwhelm opponents. A major new element highlighted for Sarah in Virtua Fighter 4 is the addition of the flamingo stance, adding strategic depth to her gameplay. The guide breaks down key strategies, starting with utilizing her down right arrow sip plus cake move as a fundamental offensive tool to pressure opponents and set up combos. It provides advice on reacting to common opponent defenses, such as guarding, evading, or attempting throws, suggesting specific follow-up moves like throws or alternative attacks to maintain the advantage. A significant portion covers transitioning into and effectively using the new flamingo stance. Moves like down right arrow ek and P+K are mentioned as ways to enter the stance, which is then used for both offensive pressure and defensive maneuvers. The guide explains how to counter opponents attempting to interrupt the stance and highlights its utility for evading attacks and launching counteroffensives. The page includes several screenshots demonstrating these techniques and the visual look of Sarah's moves in action. This page dives deep into playing as Lao Chan in Virtua Fighter 4. It highlights Lao as a character defined by his relentless, furious rushdown attacks, particularly using his diagonal upward punches and various juggle techniques to overwhelm opponents. His diagonal upward punch is noted as a key high attack. The guide emphasizes Lao's strong rushdown capabilities and devastating air combos. It breaks down fundamental strategies, focusing first on the Phoenix Lance Palm, down right arrow P+P, as his main pressure tool. While powerful, it warns players to be mindful that the second hit can be evaded by crouching, suggesting mixing in throws or other attacks like down right arrow P, down right arrow P, or low attacks to stay unpredictable. Another core strategy detailed is offense, starting from the diagonal upward palm, up right arrow P. Although its recovery is slightly increased in this version, it remains vital for scoring counter hits that lead into massive air combos, and for applying pressure, even when guarded. The guide suggests using variations like up right arrow P plus P or the delayed up right arrow P plus K to mix up timing, and recommends throws or low attacks to break opponents who constantly guard the high attack. A skill tip notes that Lao's swallow palm P plus K now offers improved evasion, allowing him to pull back while attacking to evade some mid-level attacks in addition to highs. It also points out a new move, down pointing arrow down right arrow down pointing arrow down left arrow P plus K, as being effective against crouching opponents, highlighting down right arrow P plus K as a powerful counter in that situation. The page is illustrated with screenshots demonstrating these techniques and strategies in action. This guide focuses on playing Pai Chan in Virtua Fighter 4, emphasizing her speed, techniques, and evasive capabilities. Pai controls the match's flow through quick attacks and counterattacks. Basic strategies revolve around using fast moves like Saipe and right-pointing arrow tap to establish pressure and break guards with varied strings. Pai's right-pointing arrow tap is key for controlling space, leading into powerful moves and throws. The guide highlights Pai's evasive movement, Mazokuho, for disengaging and setting up counteroffense. This allows her to evade close-range attacks and follow up with attacks. Additionally, the guide points out the effectiveness of down-pointing arrow P plus K and up-pointing arrow P plus K as throws, specifically designed to punish opponent evasive movements, making them powerful traps when properly confirmed. This guide focuses on mastering Wolf Hawkfield in Virtua Fighter 4. Wolf is a powerful wrestler known for high-damage throws and strikes. His throws are particularly enhanced, allowing for setups after evasive maneuvers and tackles. The core strategy revolves around maximizing throws, especially the giant swing, which can inflict substantial damage. Tactics include utilizing throws from mid-range, sidestep catches, and the guard-breaking shoulder tackle. The vertical uppercut, down-pointing arrow P, is also crucial for counter-hit throw follow-ups. Beyond throws, diversifying attacks is key. The low dropkick is highlighted for its offensive capabilities, with different follow-ups depending on the opponent's state. Finally, the guide introduces a no-guard stance, particularly effective against low punches. Counters include taking the back or hitting the knee to set up throws, like down-pointing arrow, apes plus G. This aggressive, defensive strategy relies on anticipating attacks and countering with throws or evades. This page delves into the powerful fighting style of Jeffrey McWild in Virtua Fighter 4. The page is a character guide featuring screenshots of Jeffrey executing moves against opponents. Jeffrey is highlighted as a character with strong strikes for pressure and devastating throws to finish opponents, similar to Wolf Hawkfield discussed previously, but with his own distinct approach. The guide focuses on several key strategies. One basic approach is the upper throw strategy, emphasizing using attacks like the standing punch, P, to gain advantage, and setting up mid-level or two-hit throws. Counter hits are crucial for Jeffrey, with his down plus punch, down right arrow P, being particularly effective for confirming throws. The guide stresses the importance of observing the opponent's state, whether they are guarding or leaving openings, to choose the right attack or throw. Another section covers the receiving stance offense and pressure, detailing how to capitalize on advantageous situations after knocking the opponent down. Getting close with a dash and observing the opponent's recovery is key. Low throws are noted as highly effective against opponents who use horizontal receiving stances. The guide also briefly touches upon using the wall to stun opponents, creating further opportunities for powerful follow-ups or throws. Adapting to the opponent's defensive choices, such as using a quick escape, is also discussed, suggesting high throws as a counter in such situations. Overall, Jeffrey's game revolves around relentless pressure and punishing opponent errors with high-damage throws and strikes. This page continues the Virtua Fighter 4 character guides, focusing on the ninja Kagemaru, known simply as Kaj. The guide highlights Kaj's traditional reliance on fundamental strikes and throws, noting that the addition of the new Jumanji Gamae, or cross stance, significantly enhances his tricky offensive capabilities in this iteration. The guide breaks down Cage's basic offense, emphasizing the use of attacks like punch, down plus punch, forward plus punch, kick, down plus kick, and various command attacks and throws to create unpredictable mix-ups between high, mid, and low attacks, forcing opponents to guess their defense. Capitalizing on opportunities after stunning an opponent and transitioning to his back-facing stance via back plus kick are also key elements discussed. The new cross stance, accessed by holding the punch button, is a central feature, providing new options after blocked attacks and featuring a powerful P plus kick attack from the stance. Strategies for using this stance after stunning an opponent or for breaking guard are detailed. Cage also gains evasion options through special diagonal movements. Specific techniques are spotlighted, such as down plus forward plus punch, which evades high attacks and launches opponents for air combos, a significant improvement from previous games. His ground running move is also mentioned as an effective tool for evading linear attacks and punishing openings. Cage's style blends solid basics with versatile new mechanics, making him a character capable of complex pressure and evasion. This page features a character guide for Lion Rafale in Virtua Fighter 4. Lion is characterized by his exceptional speed and sharp attacks, focusing on slowly wearing down opponents rather than dealing massive damage at once. His playstyle relies heavily on exploiting his speed and unique properties, including numerous techniques that involve changing his stance or turning his back. The guide emphasizes using Lion's speed to control the mid-range with low attacks and to quickly counter opponent attacks. Effective strategies include pressuring guarding opponents with mix-ups and utilizing wall hits to set up guaranteed follow-ups. A key element of Lion's game in VF4 is mastering his back-turn state, which can be accessed through various moves. This stance provides unique offensive and evasive options, such as the slide technique, down plus kick plus guard, for approaching while evading, and powerful attacks from the back turn position. While Lion's individual hits might not deal huge damage, the guide highlights that maximizing damage often comes from successfully landing bound combos, particularly after moves like forward plus kick or specific throws. Overall, Lion is a character who excels at confusing the opponent with speed, varied stances, and relentless pressure, rewarding players who master his tricky movement and follow-ups. This page continues the character guides for Virtua Fighter 4, focusing on the legendary drunken master, Shun Dai. Shun is a unique character whose power is tied to his drinking action. The more he drinks during a fight, the stronger his attacks become, and the more techniques he gains. His playstyle is centered around confusing the opponent with tricky, evasive movement and various stances, including lying down, handstands, and the new one introduced in VF4. The guide highlights his core offensive tools, emphasizing how certain basic combos can link into more powerful follow-ups, especially after drinking. It also details how to use his special stances, like the new Zhangguo Lao style, to approach opponents, evade attacks, and create opportunities for offense. Crucially, the guide stresses the importance of quickly drinking alcohol, suggesting techniques like finishing throws or certain hits that allow Shun to drink safely. Effective strategy involves mixing up attacks from different ranges and stances, using evasive moves like the shoulder roll to avoid pressure, and punishing opponents who guard incorrectly or try to counter. The screenshots illustrate some of these key moments, showing Shun in various stances and executing attacks. Mastering Shun means constantly looking for chances to drink, while keeping the opponent guessing with his unpredictable movements and stance transitions. This page delves into the fighting style of Ajoe Umenokoji in Virtua Fighter 4. Ajoe is characterized by her fluid, evasive movements and her focus on counterattacking. Unlike characters who rely on raw power, her strength lies in parrying and evading opponent attacks, then punishing them. The guide highlights core elements of Ajoe's gameplay. First is the concept of Sun Tome, which involves canceling attacks by pressing the guard button. This is crucial for controlling space and baiting opponents. Aoi has unique properties that allow many of her techniques to be cancelled in this way. Using Sun Tome to observe the opponent's reaction and adapt is a fundamental tactic. Another key technique is the Tenchi In-Yo, Heaven and Earth stance, a new addition in VF4. This stance automatically evades mid and high attacks while held, creating opportunities to counter. Mastering the transition into this stance and using it to nullify pressure or bypass guards is essential. The guide also touches upon confirming hits and maximizing damage through specific follow-ups, particularly focusing on moves that achieve knockdowns or set up counter hits, like her double palm strike after a successful parry. Screenshots illustrate these techniques, showing Asoai performing Sun Tome variations, entering the Tenchi In Yo-Yo stance to evade, and executing powerful counterattacks against opponents. The overall strategy emphasized is tactical patience, using Amio's unique evasive and canceling abilities to control the fight and capitalize on opponent errors rather than overwhelming them directly. This page introduces another new character in Virtua Fighter 4, Lei Fei, a master of Shaolin Kung Fu. His distinct fighting style centers around his 4 unique special stances: Dokuritsushiki, Haishiki, Nihonshiki, and Kokoshiki. The article emphasizes that Lei Fei's strength comes from his ability to seamlessly switch between these stances, each offering a different set of techniques and strategic possibilities. The core concept is using these stances to control the flow of battle, hitting opponents with attacks from different heights and exploiting openings. For example, one stance is highlighted for its ability to automatically evade high attacks, while another provides powerful low attack options. Mastering the transitions between these stances is crucial, allowing players to adapt on the fly and keep opponents guessing. The page provides an overview of the moves accessible from each stance and the inputs required for transitions, illustrating the depth and versatility Lei Fei offers. The reviewer notes that while his stance-based gameplay can be complex, it provides a highly effective and unpredictable fighting style, capable of overwhelming opponents through constant pressure and mix-ups. This article analyzes Lei Fei's combat strategy in Virtua Fighter 4. It emphasizes mastering his stance system and transitioning between attacks. A flowchart outlines how basic attacks, like Renkin PP, flow into special stances and powerful follow-ups, including Renkin Tushao PPP and Nikyaku KK. The strategy involves mixing mid and low attacks to pressure opponents. Even from his standard stance, Lei Fei utilizes quick mid attacks and throws. Effective low attacks and moves like Suishoken and Renshao are key. The article highlights Chuhekishu for guard breaking, Kyoho Sufuken for evading, and Hoshishiken for attacking while evading. The core concept is unpredictable attack patterns through stance changes. Mastering Lei Fei involves using his toolkit for counters, guard breaks, fast attacks, and powerful combos to control the match. This page dives into the fighting styles of Vanessa Lewis, a brand new character introduced in Virtua Fighter 4. What makes Vanessa unique is her ability to switch between 2 distinct styles mid-fight: a defensive style focused on parries, grappling, and evasion, and a more aggressive Muay Thai style featuring powerful elbows, knees, and rapid strikes. The article breaks down key moves for each style. In her defensive stance, quick moves like the Shadow Combination, PPP, and while rising attacks are essential for controlling space and punishing opponents. The intercept body attack from guard is highlighted as a crucial tool for interrupting opponent pressure and dealing big damage on counter-hit. For her Muay Thai style, powerful combos like elbow storm, right-pointing arrow PPK, and assault combination, left-pointing arrow right-pointing arrow PPPK, are core offensive tools designed to break guards and launch opponents for aerial combos. The lightning elbow, down left arrow right pointing arrow P+K, is noted as the fastest move in this style, perfect for sharp counterattacks. Mastering Vanessa is all about effectively switching between these styles to adapt to the situation and keep your opponent guessing, leveraging the defensive style for control and counterhits while using the Muay Thai style for overwhelming offense. This page continues the in-depth guide for Vanessa Lewis in Virtua Fighter 4. Breaking down strategies for her 2 distinct fighting styles. The defensive style is presented as primarily a counter-attacking stance. Key tactics involve using the right-pointing arrow PKK string to control space and observing the opponent's reaction to the third hit, punishing blocks with throws, and counter-attempts with intercept body or evasion. The powerful down-pointing arrow K+G is highlighted for its knockdown potential and utility in punishing side escapes, which can lead to high-damage crouching throws. The Muay Thai style is described as more aggressive, centered around the speedy right-pointing arrow poke. This move is used for pressure and to set up follow-ups or bait evasions, which can then be punished. While Muay Thai has powerful offense, the guide points out that many moves leave Vanessa at a disadvantage, unlike the defensive style. Despite this, the strategy is to push forward. Crucially, the guide emphasizes the importance of intercept body and intrude duck in both styles. These moves possess evasion properties and are vital for interrupting opponent pressure and converting counter hits into crumples, often leading to devastating crouching throw follow-ups. The unique insight is that even in disadvantageous situations, utilizing IB/OID can force the opponent to hesitate, turning the tables and creating openings for Vanessa to aggressively take control. Mastering the use of these defensive tools is key to making her offense safer and more effective. This page delves into Tekken 4, a popular arcade fighting game from Namco running on the System 246 board. The article serves as a guide, introducing players to unique systems specific to this installment. It highlights the ability to move your character before the round officially begins, allowing players to establish advantageous positioning right from the start. Another key mechanic discussed is the use of walls in combat. Hitting opponents into walls can lead to significant damage and alter the properties of certain moves. The page also lists the 10 different stages available, each having distinct characteristics in terms of size and vertical layout, which can influence strategy. Screenshots showcase these systems in action, along with portraits of several characters featured in the game. This page continues the deep dive into Tekken 4's unique mechanics and character strategies. It focuses heavily on the angulation system, explaining how differences in terrain height significantly impact gameplay. Being on lower ground makes it easier to hit downed or crouching opponents and affects aerial combos, potentially keeping opponents airborne longer. Conversely, being on higher ground makes it harder to connect with certain attacks. The guide stresses the importance of positioning, recommending players aim for the lower ground whenever possible. The article then transitions into fundamental tactics for the default 10 characters, emphasizing the importance of establishing an advantageous position early in the fight. It highlights the universal lead jab as a key tool for creating opportunities, strategies for dealing with opponents who counterattack, using faster moves, and those who guard, employing mid or low attacks, are also covered. Character-specific tips are provided for Kazuya Mishima and Paul Phoenix. Kazuya's section details the use of his special step and powerful attacks, like the 6 heavenly blazing punches and shatter, showing how they link together. Paul's entry discusses his strength in close to mid-range combat, emphasizing moves like the rising fist and wall combos for high damage, along with other techniques like straight fist and rising storm. The page provides visual examples of these character techniques and combo sequences. This page continues the fighting game guide, focusing on more characters from Tekken 4. It covers martial law, known for his fast attacks and counterfighting style, using techniques like the street left summer to punish opponents. Ling Xiaoyu's section highlights her unique stances, particularly the Phoenix stance, which allows for evasion and surprise attacks, emphasizing quick jabs and stance transitions. Steve Fox, a pure boxer, relies on overwhelming punch combinations to compensate for his lack of throws, with moves like stomping and sonic fang being key tools. Finally, Christy Montero's capoeira style is discussed, emphasizing her varied kicks and unique stances like handstands and sitting, suggesting that while her combos are diverse, focusing on reliable ones like those involving Biriba and Gafan Hato is effective. The page provides visual examples of these characters' key moves and combo sequences, offering tactical advice for each fighter. This page continues the Tekken 4 character guide, focusing on some more distinctive fighters. Craig Marduk's strength lies not in speed, but in getting opponents into his mount position. While approaching carelessly is risky, his goal is to transition into the grappling game, often initiated from his crouching style. Key techniques involve using the mount to control the opponent. King is all about throws and grappling. His damage output comes from successfully landing his devastating wrestling moves. Setting up throws is crucial, often after hitting with a quick attack, or against an opponent who is recovering. Leveraging the environment, like walls, can significantly increase the damage of his throws. Huo Rang is a stance master, utilizing his left stance, right stance, and flamenco stance. Success with Huo Rang requires mastering transitions between these stances to pressure the opponent. While combos are diverse, mixing in quick jabs and unpredictable moves between stances helps maintain pressure and land hits. Focusing on reliable kick combinations from his various stances is key. Yoshimitsu is known for his unpredictable tactics, effective in close and mid-range combat. He excels at disrupting opponents and countering their moves. His unique stances and evasive maneuvers make him a tricky opponent. Highlighted moves include those involving his sword and tricky movement options, allowing him to punish opponents who guard incorrectly. The page provides examples of key moves and combo sequences for each character, illustrating their unique fighting styles and offering tactical advice on how to effectively use them in combat. This page features a reader artwork section titled The Dorimaga Exhibition,
showcasing fan-submitted illustrations. A small box at the top right discusses some minor changes to the submission rules for this section, mentioned by magazine staff members. The main artwork displays 3 pieces. On the left is fan art of Makoto Sawatari from the visual novel Kanan, shown playfully interacting with a cat. The middle image features a dynamic illustration of a male character, submitted from Tokyo. The right panel shows a cute, Chiba-style character with animal ears, labeled CG, and the contributor mentions their fondness for fighting games and setting the background music to Bohemian Rhapsody. The bottom section is a mini-feature dedicated to the Sakura Wars series, highlighting the continued excitement around the franchise. A prominent illustration depicts Erika Fontaine and Sakura Shinguji in a VS format. The contributor's comment below humorously speculates on whether such a confrontation occurs in Sakura Wars 4 and the inevitable trouble the protagonist, the commander, would face regardless of who wins. To the right is a 4-panel Sakura Wars comic strip, also marked CG, focusing on the character's reactions to eating pudding, with the contributor commenting on the comic format and the size of the pudding. The next page continues the Dorimaga exhibition, showcasing more fantastic fan-submitted artwork. We see a diverse collection of illustrations, featuring beloved characters from various Dreamcast titles and beyond. Highlights include dynamic art of Ryo Hazuki and Ren Wying from Shenmue 2, Chibi Ko characters from Sonic Adventure 2, and interpretations of characters from visual novels like Kanon and Close to Inori no Oka. There's also fan art of Glycine from Sakura Wars 4, a humanized take on Amy Rose, Claire Redfield from Resident Evil Code, Veronica, and a character from Capcom vs. SNK 2. Even the iconic Doraemon makes an appearance. The accompanying comments from the magazine staff add a fun, personal touch to each piece, often offering playful critiques or expressing admiration for the artist's skill and subject choice. Below the artwork, there's a section detailing the guidelines for submitting illustrations to the exhibition, explaining how readers can participate via mail or email, and the requirements for image format and content. This page features the 15th installment of the Digital Analog Channel, a comic strip focusing on community interaction and trends within games. This episode tackles the hot topic of chasing the trend, specifically within Phantasy Star Online Ver.2. The comic depicts players discussing their experiences in the online world. Much of the conversation revolves around clearing a particular objective, cryptically referred to as that thing, and the current popularity of playing as a ranger. Characters ask if others have cleared that thing while playing as a ranger, comment on those still sticking to the hunter class, and even the magazine's editing staff questions the ranger trend. There's a funny moment where a character complains they didn't know about that thing because they were too busy. The comic culminates with a character celebrating overcoming that thing, which is revealed to involve dealing with the deadly gas of Ikken Shino. There's also a brief mention of wanting specific gear, like a Vernier-type mag. The bottom of the page introduces the contributors behind this comic: Uzu and Maki-chan, Prince Eddie, and Kuri-san. This page features the Reader's Contribution Corner, filled with letters and small illustrations from the magazine's audience. Readers share thoughts ranging from personal anecdotes about summer and equipment issues to queries about the magazine's content and characters. There are game-related discussions, such as a reader asking about the cover being a Street Fighter 2i character, and mentions of Phantasy Star Online, referencing items like the Vernier mag and lamenting lost data. Another reader debates whether Final Fantasy X is a rip-off of Guilty Gear X, a common point of discussion among genre fans. The page also includes the Dorimaga Recommended Movies Cinemas section, highlighting films for the summer season. A ranking table shows the top-performing movies from late July based on box office data in major Tokyo areas. The recommended films include the live-action ninja film Red Shadow, aka based on a classic manga and featuring intense action, and the anime movie Sayuki Requiem, an original story expanding on the popular Sayuki series characters and world. Both films offer exciting content for moviegoers. This page features a collection of reader contributions, showcasing fan art and commentary. You see various characters drawn by readers from different prefectures. Highlights include an illustration of Millennia from Grandia 2, and Athena Asamiya from King of Fighters, and a drawing featuring Dan Hibiki and Yuri Sakazaki from Capcom vs. SNK Pro, with commentary on their expressions. The readers share thoughts on summer, characters, and game-related topics. There's also a small section titled Shota Corner, suggesting reader submissions featuring young male characters.
The main feature is the 59th installment of the column Behind the Scenes at the Game Shop, written by Shigeyuki Shimakawa. This article discusses the evolving landscape of the game industry, emphasizing that in today's challenging economic environment, technical skill alone isn't enough. Tulsa. The author argues for the need for flexible thinking engineers who possess strong communication skills and can understand the market, sales, and business aspects of games. He touches on different roles like programmers, designers, and planners, highlighting the importance of being able to interact effectively with various parties like distributors and retailers. The piece concludes by noting that game companies, especially larger ones, tend to favor a meritocratic approach and require developers capable of rational action based on market trends. This page features a collection of reader art and commentary, alongside a section recommending books and strategy guides. The reader art showcases various characters, including a dynamic illustration of a Gundam mobile suit, artwork depicting Ryu and Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and another featuring a group of anime-style characters. There are also some smaller drawings, like a character that resembles the Powerpuff Girls, and another showing what seems to be a character from King of Fighters. Commentary from readers in different prefectures accompanies the art, discussing everything from favorite characters to the feeling of summer. The main content block focuses on recommended books. It highlights the Powerpuff Girls sticker book, describing it as a fun activity book featuring the popular characters Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercups, who are essentially superpowered kindergartners. The book uses stickers to complete stories, making it collectible and enjoyable. Another recommendation is the horror manga Zashiki Anna by Mochizuki Minotaro, known for Dragonhead. This comic tells a chilling urban legend about a young man who encounters a strange woman in his apartment building, leading to increasingly unsettling events. It's praised as a truly scary read. Finally, there's a top 10 ranking based on sales data from a bookstore in late July 2001. This list primarily features strategy guides for various games across PlayStation, Dreamcast, Game Boy, and PC platforms, giving readers insight into popular game guides at the time. This page features the True Dorimaga Liberation Zone Declaration, a special edition dedicated to reader submissions, highlighting contributions from Huea and Bunbunheads. The page showcases various pieces of reader artwork, including illustrations of wrestlers chasing people, a collection of women's faces, a muscular character, a simple drawing of someone named Veronica, a stylized cat creature, a scene referencing Romance of the Three Kingdoms, a fighting scene, and a large armored robot resembling Mylania from Grandia 2. Editorial comments accompany the art, noting the humor embedded in some illustrations, and the contributors changing pen names. The page also includes a section titled Adult Dress-Up Doll, which compiles reader reviews and commentary on various games. Titles mentioned include popular games of the era like Final Fantasy X and Everybody's Golf 3, both PS2 titles but discussed here, Animal Crossing, Phantasy Star Online, a Dreamcast staple, and The Sims Deluxe. The comments range from specific game details, such as FGX's ending and CGI, to general impressions and humorous observations about trading in Animal Crossing and the features of Phantasy Star Online. The section also includes some short, humorous text pieces related to cats and golf, attributed to a contributor named Chibo. Overall, the page is a vibrant mix of reader creativity and game discussion, reflecting the diverse interests of the magazine's audience in 2001. This page is a vibrant mix of reader contributions and media highlights. It kicks off with the Shota Corner, featuring enthusiastic reader artwork of young male characters and playful commentary from the editors and contributors. Following this is a look at Sakura Wars Online, presented in a humorous manga style, where characters ponder the nature of the online game and make relatable observations about playing. Fans of Berserk will appreciate the section featuring a fan-made comic strip referencing the Conviction arc, specifically depicting characters like Mazgus and expressing a fervent plea for a sequel to the popular manga. Further down, a Shota Corner committee announcement lists contributors and details a potential upcoming event. The page also includes a short, comical manga strip, possibly referencing a Sega Online service given the included URL, and another strip styled after Doraemon, featuring the iconic characters and introducing a quirky nail-bat element. Finally, there's a comprehensive CD release information guide covering various albums and singles, including a notable entry: the original soundtrack for a PS2 horror adventure game, composed by none other than Tamayo, from the legendary Sega sound team Zuntata. It's a diverse collection of fan creativity and media updates, showcasing the magazine's engagement with its readership and current music scene.
The next page features the Summer Tommy's live-action Segagachi Manga Dojo, a popular reader manga contest where contributors battle it out, with this week crowning a new winner. Shifting focus to reader voice, the page includes lively discussions about Sega, touching on the appearance of a Sonic-styled character on a Tokyo Game Show poster, and fans' desires, like wanting a Shining Force game on various platforms, and even mentioning playing Shenmue on PlayStation 2. There's a fun section dedicated to Sega trivia, and calls for readers to contribute their memories, trivia, and ideas to keep the Sega spirit alive. The reader letter section dives into various topics, from local dialects and trendy slang, including references to Sega terms, to recruiting names for new characters featured in accompanying fan art. Finally, a significant piece of hardware news is highlighted. The release of the PS2 Pro, a more affordable version utilizing the original PlayStation 1 mold, showing the ongoing evolution in the console market. A brief note also mentions merchandise. A Kasuko-themed wind chime is in production. This page features multiple reader-focused segments, starting with Captain Hachi's Why Branch Office, a queue and a section including discussion about Shenmue and a drawing of a character named Hachi with a telecard prize offer. The Dorimaga style submission postcard queue and a box revision updates readers on illustration submission guidelines and addresses technical issues like HTML emails. Smaller sections cover topics like discussing online games, helping readers find forgotten game titles, and a creative game title fusion section. A large feature is dedicated to Dodon to Sega Kara, focusing on Dreamcast karaoke. It highlights the summer season as a great time for karaoke with friends and calls for song requests for the official Sega Kara Corner, referencing Mobile Fighter Big Gundam songs, and requests for pop cinema music tracks to be added to the Sega Kara library. There's a follow-up on previous reader requests, specifically concerning the ending song, One and Only, from the sound novel Mashi, noted as a Saturn masterpiece, with attention drawn to whether the request will be adopted by Sega Music Network. Finally, there's an exciting announcement. A present power-up is happening, where the magazine is giving away a Dreamcast karaoke console itself, described as a rare item, to one lucky reader who submits to the corner. The page includes images of the Dreamcast with the karaoke peripheral, a character drawing related to the first section, a character likely from Mobile Fighter Big Gundam, Sega Music Network's Takahashi-san, and Sakura Shinguji from Sakura Wars. This page features several reader contribution sections and a recurring personal column. We start with Sad Stories, where readers share amusingly unfortunate incidents, like one recounting the frustration of buying the wrong cables when trying to connect their Dreamcast online, mistaking a TV coaxial port for a phone line. Another segment, Mimes Imushi Became a Mama, shares a personal update from a reader about a significant life change, specifically becoming a mother. The magazine also highlights reader engagement through a point ranking, listing contributors based on points earned for submissions, offering prizes like book tokens and original goods to top participants. There's also a guide detailing the diverse range of reader corners available, from Q&A and illustration showcases, to opinion pieces and creative challenges. Submission guidelines outline technical requirements for sending in illustrations and text via mail or email. Prominently featured is the Today's Wind, Tomorrow's Wind column, Volume 24, written by Sakurai Tomoe. This segment offers a personal reflection on subjects like the reliability of fortune-telling and the significance of names. A particularly vivid part recounts a disturbing dream involving a Japanese doll that appeared to move, linking it to a childhood memory of a similar doll kept at her grandmother's house. The column includes a profile of Sakurai Tomoe, noting her career in singing, acting, and voice work, and her involvement in radio. Fumio Kurokawa's column discusses kart racing fundamentals and reports on his China trip related to the Final Fantasy X pre-order bonus. He reflects on past Final Fantasy bonuses, like strategy guides and a Vivi plushie, and details his travel experiences, including the size of China, transportation, and his observations of the cities. The page also features game industry news. Eidos Interactive apologized for character usage in an ad. News covers the upcoming Godzilla film with a unique villain design, Enix's Asian expansion of online game services with Crossgate, Bandai's toy releases, and Korean game industry developments. The column concludes by inviting reader feedback. This page dives into the world of new anime releases. The main focus is on the TV anime series Gene Shaft, highlighting its upcoming release on VC and DVD formats set for August 25th. The article provides a synopsis of the story, which takes place in the 23rd century where humanity, pushed to the brink by environmental changes, has turned to genetic manipulation for survival, and now faces a mysterious colossal entity known as the Ring. The page lists the key staff and voice cast behind the series, and features character profiles for the main players like Mika, Hirokito, Mekir, Sophia, and Sergei, giving insight into their roles and personalities. Additionally, there's a section highlighting anime broadcasts on CS and CATV channels, featuring the movie Cyber Team and Akihabara, Summer Vacation of 2011, and the OVA series, Shippu, Iron Leaguer being shown on networks like Kids Station and ATX. This page showcases a variety of upcoming anime releases on VC and DVD formats, alongside new music and comic tines. In the VC and DVD section, we see the first episode of the OVA 1 Kagayaku Kisetsu A, a love story based on a visual novel. There's also the Love Hina Spring Special, featuring the cast in a resort setting. Clamps X, soon to be a TV series, gets a preview OVA release. The page highlights a special episode for Sister Princess, tying into the TV series launch. For ongoing series, You're Under Arrest, second season volumes 2 and 57 are featured, continuing the police action comedy, and volumes 5 through 7 of the horror series Ghost Stories are listed. Classic anime fans can look forward to the first collection box for Magical Angel Creamy Mommy, compiling early episodes of the beloved Magical Girl series. The OVA Assemble Insert, a sci-fi action comedy, is also coming to DVD. The CD section features music from the One Kagayaku Kisetsu OVA, including the OP Eternity and character songs. There's also the opening theme single, Kyu no Hana, from the anime Magical Meow Meow Taruto. Finally, the information section introduces a new Super Robot Wars comic magazine anthology, collecting manga based on the popular mecha strategy game series. This page features the 122nd entry in the Something Yoshimatsu Gekiju comic strip series, titled Sega and Casco's Kami Kakushi. The comic follows Casco, a character representing Sega, as she is whisked away to a mysterious place described as somewhere humans, and even the game industry itself cannot easily enter, a realm of game gods. Casco arrives, initially feeling ill from the journey, at a bathhouse where she is told the game gods reside. She is directed to various developers and publishers, including Natsume, Eureka, Level 5, Treasure, and others, depicted as different figures. Suddenly, none other than Nintendo-sama, appearing as Mario, arrives, causing a stir. Mario leads Casco to a pile of software disks, described as many gems of software, which he presents to her. This leads to confusion and questions about being spirited away, and a puzzling observation about a lack of stock in this god realm today. The comic seems to playfully comment on the interactions between game companies and the flow of software, particularly from the perspective of a Sega character meeting figures from other companies and receiving games. At the bottom of the page is a brief profile for the author, Something Yoshimatsu, mentioning his background as an animator and his current work, including this comic and a game-related column. This page features the Comic Wonderland section, presenting two distinct comic strips. The left-hand strip, titled DC Fan Ritsuden Part 23 by Yasuyuki Tokumitsu, dives into the world of Dreamcast fans. It depicts characters reacting to a Dreamcast robot, and humorously discusses the desire for games like Super Robot Wars Alpha on the Dreamcast. It also includes a caricature, the Dark PS Dai Shogun, hinting at the console rivalry, and makes references to Getter Robo's Double Drill and Getter 2 moves, familiar to fans of the mecha genre often featured in Super Robot Wars. The right-hand strip, First, by Aya Kadoi, offers a more personal vignette. It follows characters on a trip to a bookstore, where one character named Michael asks for directions to a nearby one. The strip touches upon language barriers, and the experience of being accompanied by a foreigner, observing the overwhelming number of books in the store. Below the comics are profiles for the authors. Yasuyuki Tokumitsu is noted for his comic work, including series like Pro Wrestling Fan Retsuden and Nubaku Otaku Sensei, as well as his involvement with Super Robot Taisen. Aya Kadoi is credited with original work on games such as Refrain Blue and Kakusei, known for cute character designs and offbeat gag manga, with a collection titled Heaven's Gate. This page features Radical Communication, an interview with the popular gravure idol and actress,
Aiko Koike. Known for her familiar look and energetic, frank communication style, she discusses her career, including her debut work, the drama series Bishoujo H, and shares stories from behind the scenes of her photo shoots. She reflects on her time filming Bishoujo H, recalling memorable episodes, and noting how she hasn't had a similar role since. She talks about working with other idols, including Rina Uchiyama and Iri Kaneko, expressing how she found them incredibly cute and enjoyed the collaborative environment. Koike also touches upon what she finds attractive in men, mentioning legs and other physical attributes. She highlights the demanding nature of gravure photo shoots, noting that the quality of the final image relies heavily on the hard work and coordination of the entire staff, even if the result looks effortless. A profile section provides her birth date and lists some of her key media releases, including her debut with Bishoujo H, and various photo books and DVDs like Jenica, Salty Dog, and Honeydew, mentioning some release dates. The page includes a portrait photo of Aiko Koike. While primarily focused on a personality from the entertainment industry, the interview offers insight into the demanding world of gravure and idol work popular during the time. This page promotes the Grandia 2 Official Setting Material Collection Guidebook. It proudly announces that secret production materials are fully revealed and that the entire world of the eternal masterpiece, Grandia 2, is compiled into this single volume. Sample layouts from the book are displayed, giving a glimpse into its contents. Sections highlighted include detailed character profiles, such as for key protagonists like Ryudo and Elena, along with sub-characters. There are spreads dedicated to the game's expansive world, showcasing areas like Foi Deus, alongside sections covering monster designs and animation art. The book also features interviews with the music staff, an illustration gallery, and a look into the story section. Published by SoftBank Publishing, this official guide is the result of full cooperation from the Game Arts production staff. It's a substantial 176-page, a four-sized book priced at 2,800 yen plus tax, featuring newly drawn cover art by Yushi Kanu, and edited by Nobuyuki Shiota and Krabs Project. For fans looking to dive deep into the development and lore of this beloved Dreamcast RPG, this collection appears to be an invaluable resource. Contact information for purchasing and inquiries is listed. This page is a comprehensive guide for readers on how to fill out the magazine's survey postcard to provide feedback and enter prize drawings. It instructs readers to clearly write their name, address, and desired prize number on the front. The back is dedicated to survey responses, requiring answers to questions about personal details like gender, age, and occupation, as well as magazine reading habits and opinions on the current issue's cover art. The guide includes examples of how to fill in the numerical answer boxes correctly, emphasizing clear, single digits per box for machine processing. Key survey questions ask readers about the gaming hardware they own or plan to purchase, referencing a detailed list, Table 2, that includes platforms like Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. Another section asks about Dreamcast software titles they wish to buy from a provided list, Table 3, featuring games such as Shenmue 2, Virtua Tennis 2, Garou, Mark of the Wolves, Sakura Wars 4, The House of the Dead 3, Super Robot Wars Alpha, Rez, and Ready 2 Rumble Boxing Round 2. Readers are also asked to identify which articles from the issue they found most and least interesting, Table 1, and suggest game manufacturers they'd like featured in the future. The page essentially serves as the primary feedback mechanism for the magazine, allowing readers to directly influence future content and potentially win prizes. This page features the 6th installment of the bi-weekly column, Growing with Various Things, this time focusing on A Day with RC Cars. The main illustration shows the column's character, a girl, holding a controller for a tiny remote-controlled car, with a yellow car and a cat nearby. The column discusses the trend of downsizing in the world of RC cars, questioning if this is following the lead of miniature car lines like Chorok. It specifically highlights the Talmy Bit Charg, marveling at how such a small car can function as an RC vehicle, despite its 2,980 yen price tag. The accompanying comic panels reflect on the state of the Japanese toy industry, the surprising technological advancements that go into making such small items, drawing parallels to the development of bipedal robots by companies like Honda and Sony, and Bandai's work on things like Gundam. There's a humorous wish for a 2,980 yen RC Zaku model. The panels also touch on the convenience of online shopping compared to searching in the countryside, and the unexpected cost of cameras. The column is written by Izumi Takemoto, and contact information for sending mail is provided at the bottom.
This page features a special report on the upcoming Dreamcast release of the visual novel, Canaria. The artwork shows several anime-style girls, many with musical instruments or in poses suggesting performance, against a bright sky. The game is described as a romance adventure, centered around a band and love, unfolding from early summer into the height of the season. The article highlights that with the release drawing near, they are showcasing the game's appeal by introducing snippets of episodes for each of the 6 heroines, promising a story that will feel personal, bring joy and laughter, and perhaps even tears. The game data confirms Canaria is an ADV, romance adventure, title developed by NEC Interchannel, scheduled for release on August 23rd at a price of 6,800 yen. It's a single-disc game requiring 7 blocks of memory and supports VGA output. Additionally, there's news about a limited edition drama CD titled Canaria T, produced to commemorate the DC version's release. This CD, featuring a comedy drama and music, will be sold at the Front Wing booth during Comic Market 60. There's also a giveaway for this CD, offering 10 readers a chance to win it by sending in a postcard. This page delves deeper into the Dreamcast port of the romance-adventure game, Canaria, which is set in a rural town in Shikoku. The story follows a guitar-loving protagonist who moves to the area and interacts with the local residents, centering around school life and band activities. The game is praised for its natural characters, witty dialogue, and a balanced scenario that blends comedy with serious moments. The Dreamcast version specifically adds a new heroine, updated visuals, and system improvements, making it appealing even to those who played the original Windows release. The gameplay is described as a straightforward, simple adventure, featuring dialogue choices and map selection to advance the story. Important event locations are marked with character icons on the map. The narrative focuses on life-sized love stories, depicting the everyday lives of high school students and the development of realistic relationships with the appealing heroines. A central plotline revolves around the protagonist joining the light music club and working with members towards a successful performance at the school festival, despite facing challenges like finding a vocalist. The game offers individual stories woven by each of the 6 heroines. Additionally, there's a small comic strip titled Magic Girl Eri, created by the game's developer Front Wing and artist Yasuda Suzuhito, possibly related to extra content like the drama CD mentioned on the previous page. This page focuses on Saiki Ayana, the main heroine of Canaria. She is a classmate and bandmate to the protagonist, known for her calm demeanor despite having a childlike side. Her story is presented as starting uniquely with a confession, after which the true drama unfolds. Key moments detailed include their initial meeting before school transfer, deepening their connection through secret band practice sessions, and a significant event where the protagonist helps her find a lost item, leading to a confession. The page emphasizes the pure and slightly embarrassing nature of the confession scene, marking the beginning of their dating relationship. Screenshots throughout illustrate scenes from Ayana's route, showing her interacting with others, playing guitar during practice, and expressing various emotions as her bond with the protagonist develops within the context of school life and band activities. This page features Mika Katagiri, the energetic and outspoken drummer of the light music club in Canaria. While often seen as manly due to her bright personality, she secretly worries about this image and harbors feelings for someone hinted to be the protagonist. The page details several significant moments in her story. An early interaction shows her directness when she physically reacts to the protagonist's comment about school rules. A dramatic event occurs at her family's udon restaurant, where she collapses with a fever, revealing unexpected vulnerability. Her dynamic with the band's bassist, Ryota, is highlighted as they are quarrel friends who constantly engage in lively arguments. As the story progresses, Mika struggles with her feelings, especially as her relationship with the protagonist deepens. The page also includes profiles on the male band members, Ryota, and the club president Jun, noting their distinct personalities and roles within the band and the game's narrative. This page features Chiaki Shinjo, the protagonist's older cousin and the master of the studio where the light music club practices in the game Canaria. Described as a kind and supernatural airhead, Chiaki is also intelligent and can see right through the protagonist's excuses, often leading her to scold him. The page highlights various aspects of their relationship and story events. After the protagonist fails a test, Chiaki becomes his tutor, offering one-on-one lessons that impact him both academically and personally,
making him more conscious of her presence. The page gives an example of her unique, often incomprehensible jokes, like presenting food wrapped in newspaper as an evening paper delivery. Another scene shows her asleep while tutoring, prompting the protagonist's inner thoughts on her defenseless state. A significant event is a trip to the beach, where Chiaki's bold swimsuit appearance overwhelms the protagonist, although she remains oblivious to his reaction. The page also includes a brief profile on Chiaki's father, the protagonist's uncle, who owns the studio. He's depicted as a friendly character with a strong passion for playing the bass, sometimes insistently trying to teach it to the protagonist. The accompanying screenshots illustrate these moments, showing Chiaki in various settings including the studio, her home, the beach, and during a tutoring session, along with a shot of her father in the studio. This page introduces Megumi Chigasaki, another central character from the visual novel Canaria. She's described as an idol on the run, making a living by busking in the shopping district. Despite her runaway status, she's portrayed as a rather aggressive and somewhat lacking in social graces, often getting into fights with the protagonist. The page details several key moments in their relationship. Their initial meeting is quite impactful, with Megumi assaulting the protagonist after mistaking his approach while he was carrying his guitar as an intrusion on her territory. Later, her identity as a runaway idol is revealed after a failed attempt to escape Shikoku for Tokyo by rowboat leads her back to the area. Another significant event is when the protagonist investigates a theft at his house, leading him to discover Megumi happily eating the stolen food from the refrigerator. The page also shows a moment at the beach where the protagonist finds Megumi bathing, resulting in another heated argument, though she unexpectedly asks if she looks beautiful. Finally, needing more money, Megumi starts working as a waitress, but her volatile attitude persists, especially when the protagonist brings other girls to the restaurant, suggesting jealousy might be a factor. The screenshots illustrate these scenes, showing Megumi busking, eating stolen food, at the beach, and in her waitress uniform. This page focuses on Eri Hozumi, the protagonist's younger sister in the visual novel Canaria. She's described as very bright and dependable, taking care of the household in place of their absent parents. However, she has a significant quirk. Her affection for her brother is excessive and demonstrative, often bordering on aggressive physical contact, which leaves the protagonist bewildered. The page highlights several scenarios, showcasing her intense, brotherly love. One section, titled Raid on the Brother's Room, depicts her persistent attempts to spend time with the protagonist on Sundays, resorting to increasingly drastic measures, even using suspicious tools to bypass locked doors. Another section, Attack on the Bathroom, shows her bold approach while he's bathing, even threatening to remove her towel if he doesn't let her join him. There's also a moment titled Brother's Date, where it's revealed she went on a date with a classmate, but the underlying motive was simply to obtain a rare CD he possessed. More introspectively, talking to a stuffed animal reveals her talking to a toy, expressing sadness that someone she likes doesn't notice her, strongly implying her feelings for the protagonist. Finally, under Growing Up Sister, her reaction to the protagonist commenting on her chest size is shown as forcing him to experience its actual size firsthand. The screenshots accompanying these descriptions illustrate these comedic and affectionate moments, emphasizing her strong attachment to her brother. Hoshino Mai, a new heroine in Canaria's DC version, is a diligent but clumsy member of the drama club who is friendly with the light music club through her sister. Key story events revolve around her. Secret Only for the Two of Us sees May discovering the protagonist's lyric notebook and receiving guitar lessons in return for keeping its contents private. Helping Out the Drama Club showcases May and the Light Music Club collaborating on costumes, strengthening bonds. Promised Guitar Lesson depicts May getting a guitar and beginning lessons. Vocal Practice in Progress shows May struggling with stage fright, prompting the protagonist's encouragement. Supporting characters include Yano Sensei, the protagonist's teacher, and his precocious daughter, Senna, who frequently appears in events. This page features a special report on Memories Off Second for the Dreamcast, the highly anticipated sequel to the original Memories Off. It's presented as a romance-adventure game that continues the story from Memories Off Complete, focusing on a love story sparked by mobile phones. The game follows a text-adventure style where players read through the narrative and make choices from 2 to 4 options at various points, leading to different story branches. The setting is a summer vacation period lasting about 1 month, centered around a young man and 6 girls. The text emphasizes the season of summer, bringing liberation and casting ripples in love, highlighting how the heroines and the protagonists strive and reflect on themselves. Accompanying the text are several screenshots showing various scenes, including a beach, interior locations like classrooms, and a moody rain scene. There's prominent character art of one of the heroines. A small section also introduces a character named Hotaru, talking about her boyfriend, Ken-chan, detailing his personality and why she likes him, giving a glimpse into the character interactions. The report confirms the game is nearing completion and provides release details for the Dreamcast version, listing it as a romance-adventure game for one player. It also highlights a notable pre-order bonus from SoftMap, offering an original music box and telecards with exclusive art for both the Dreamcast and PlayStation versions. This page continues the look at Memories Off Second, diving into details about two of the key heroines. First, we get insight into Minami Tsubame, featuring a character quote about using teasing to measure closeness in relationships. The text describes a mysterious late-night encounter where Tsubame appears, having just moved in. She later becomes a temporary Japanese language teacher at the protagonist's school. The page highlights her seemingly calm nature when relaxing in Lemon Balm and contrasts it with her surprisingly proactive side, showing screenshots of her engaging in activities like gardening. Next, the focus shifts to Shirakawa Hotaru, introduced with a quote suggesting that unexposed lies might become the truth. It reveals her relationship with the protagonist, Ken, which began the previous Christmas. She is described as very important to him, and her doting nature towards Ken-chan is mentioned. Screenshots depict her joyful reactions and interactions, emphasizing her significant natural airheadedness and how it leads to unexpected situations. There's also a note about Hotaru meeting a white puppy named Tomoya, a name given by Ken. A small section notes that the game includes nods to previous Memories Off titles and other works like Close To and Yume no Tsubasa, suggesting that prior experience with the series will enhance enjoyment. Knowing these connections certainly adds another layer for veteran players. The page concludes with evocative, poem-like text. The next page dives deeper into the story and characters of Memories Off Second. It highlights the potentially serious romance elements despite the large cast of heroines, noting the appearance of important supporting characters like family and teachers. The article suggests revisiting the promotional materials for the game's predecessor, Wings of Dreams, to appreciate the voice acting and scene differences. Several key characters are showcased with specific scenes. We see Nozomi enjoying a beach day and beach volleyball. Hotaru is depicted as someone needing support and is shown asking about not regretting failures. Shin is featured talking about a strange sighting of flying fish, and the protagonist's best friend, Shouta, is mentioned with a shared past of liking the same girl. The page also introduces Tomoe, detailing her chance encounter with the protagonist and her struggle to be treated like a girl, before revealing she is Hotaru's best friend. Finally, Masaki is shown reporting from the beach as a substitute radio personality. A brief note mentions a public radio recording event and the operation of a promotional Memories Off Second wrapping bus around Tokyo. The next page continues the deep dive into Memories Off Second, focusing on specific characters and game events. One section highlights Shizuru Shirakawa, depicting a scene where she is feeding the protagonist ice cream during a break from his part-time job. The text describes her warmth and maturity, noting how she spoils the protagonist. Another section is dedicated to Suzuna Takano, discussing encounters and her initial negative reaction, stemming from her apparent discomfort around men. A third section also covers Shizuru Shirakawa, detailing her nature and actions, including an incident where she smells of gardenia, the same fragrance from a tree at the protagonist's home. The page also provides information about Memories Off merchandise, available at Comic at 60. While there was a list of various goods for Memories Off and other kid titles, this section essentially confirms that fans could acquire collectibles related to the game at the event. Finally, there is a present offering for readers. Signed Shikishi boards from 6 voice actors who portray the heroines in Memories Off Second. Readers could enter by mail before a specific deadline. The page shows images of the signed boards. This page is dedicated to the world of Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, featuring the 4th installment in a multi-part special focusing on the voice actors of the Paris Combat Review. This issue shines the spotlight on Lobelia Carlini and her voice actor, Kikuko Inoue. The page includes a detailed character profile for Lobelia, alongside strategy tips for the game presented in Dorimaga's thorough strategy style, complete with a flowchart for building trust with her. There's also an interview with Kikuko Inoue, where she discusses her experience voicing Lobelia and shares anecdotes, such as her recent appearance at Anime Expo
acts, where the popularity of Sakura Wars overseas was evident. The page features vibrant character art of Lobelia, a photo of Kikuko Inoue signing autographs, and a scene showing Lobelia interacting with other characters. As an added bonus for readers, there's a present offering, likely tied to the voice actor feature. This spread provides a deep dive into one of Sakura Wars 3's most unique characters from both a gameplay and voice acting perspective. This page continues the special feature on the voice actors of Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Quote, focusing on Lobelia Carlini and her voice actor, Kikuko Inoue. The core theme explored is the fascinating contrast between Lobelia and Erika, with Inoue describing Lobelia as the shadow that defines Erika's light. The page features a compelling interview where Kikuko Inoue shares her experiences voicing the complex character of Lobelia, highlighting the initial challenges and the rewarding process of bringing her to life. She touches upon the demanding nature of the role, jokingly comparing the strict direction she received to a sports manga. Readers also get insights into building trust with Lobelia within the game, typical of the detailed strategy sections found in Dorimaga. Visually, the page includes striking character art of Lobelia, embodying her cool and dangerous aura. Photos show Kikuko Inoue looking lovely and offering a special gift to readers, showcasing signed Sakura Wars 3 promotional items. The text notes her shirt features a map of Paris in Lobelia's signature color, a nice touch for the interview. It's clear that both the character and her performance left a significant impression, making this a must-read for fans of Lobelia and Sakura Wars 3. This page delves deep into the strategy required to win over the enigmatic Lobelia Carlini in Episode 4, titled, The Thief Smells of Roses, of Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? The focus is squarely on the lip system, detailing specific moments and dialogue choices that impact Lobelia's trust level. The guide breaks down key scenes, from the special prison where she's held after escaping, to the first-floor guest area, the strategy room, and even during meal mode and investigations at the Louvre Museum. For each scenario, the guide presents the different player dialogue or action options, and clearly indicates how Lobelia's trust will increase, marked with upward arrows, or decrease, downward arrows. It highlights particularly impactful choices that lead to significant trust gains. The screenshots show various character interactions, including a scene at the dining table and character portraits of Lobelia and the others. A sidebar features Kikuko Inoue, Lobelia's voice actor, sharing an anecdote. She discusses how Lobelia, despite being portrayed as a villain, possesses her own sense of justice, particularly towards the weak, describing it as being rooted deep within her. She also touches upon unexpected sides of the character, referencing a heartwarming image of Lobelia baking a cake for Erika's birthday. This section adds a personal touch from the voice actor, further illuminating the complexity of the character the player is trying to build trust with. The page is essential for players aiming to fully understand and connect with Lobelia's character arc. This guide details how to build trust with Lobelia Carlini in Sakura Wars 3. It focuses on Episode 4's combat encounters, highlighting specific actions and dialogue choices during boss fights, and when Lobelia is near Erika or Kokelikot. The guide emphasizes strategies to maximize trust gains through favorable outcomes. Episode 5's free movement phase offers further opportunities. It provides a minute-by-minute breakdown of interactions, including visiting Lobelia's new room in the warehouse and the shower room event. Dialogue choices and specific clickable sequences in the protagonist's room are crucial for boosting trust. A sidebar includes an anecdote from Lobelia's voice actor, Kikuko Inoue, discussing the challenges of portraying Lobelia's cool demeanor, particularly during vulnerable moments. This page continues the strategy guide for Sakura Wars 3, picking up at the end of Episode 5 and moving into Episode 6. It breaks down the game's free movement phases, strategy room decisions, and in-battle events to help players navigate interactions and build trust with the Parisian Combat Review members, with a strong focus on Lobelia Carlini. For Episode 5's final free movement, the guide details events in the park and a bar, highlighting specific dialogue choices using the lips system to influence Lobelia's mood and trust. Episode 6 covers the single free movement segment, where the protagonist guides a teammate through Montmartre, leading into a pivotal date event. The guide explains how to initiate a date with Lobelia in the protagonist's room and the dialogue options involved, noting the impact on trust. The combat section details standard enemy battles and special events triggered during fighting, such as specific character adjacency, Ogami and Lobelia together,
and events based on character dates that occurred earlier in the episode. The screenshots show character portraits and battle scenes, illustrating the guide's points about dialogue choices and combat scenarios. The overall tone is practical, offering direct advice on achieving favorable outcomes in the game's branching narrative and combat systems. This page is a lively Sakura Wars fan section, featuring community contributions and notable news. The highlight is the announcement of Sakura Wars GB2 for the Game Boy Color, confirming it will be an RPG, a shift from the previous title. The page mentions its release date and includes screenshots demonstrating gameplay, such as navigating the field and utilizing the lips system for dialogue choices. The section also celebrates the fan community, presenting a Platinum Award winner and showcasing a significant number of submitted illustrations, short manga comics, and fan art featuring various characters like Iris, Lobelia, and others in different scenarios, some depicting daily life or humorous situations within the Sakura Wars universe. The page acknowledges the growing volume of fan submissions. The overall tone is enthusiastic, celebrating the enduring popularity of the Sakura Wars series and its dedicated fanbase. This page features the 10th installment of the Steam Arsenal, a segment dedicated to showcasing remarkable technology. The focus here is the Kubu F2, piloted by Green's Blue Male, depicted in a stunning illustration by Mika Akitaka, the acclaimed mecha designer for the series. Described as heavily armed for diving into the battlefield, this enhanced Kubu unit highlights the evolution of the series' iconic steam-powered mecha. While detailed specifications like height, weight, armament, the assault axe, and the powerful Rishi power engine are listed, the striking image and the focus on a specific pilot's unit are the main draw. This continues the theme of the previous page, delving further into the popular Sakura Wars universe by highlighting its impressive mecha designs. This page delves deeper into the mechanics of the Sakura Wars series, focusing specifically on Glycine Bloomer's customized Kubu Phi 2 unit. It highlights the unit's concept as a heavily armored frontline assault machine, designed to withstand the initial enemy attack thanks to its enhanced plating, which offers roughly double the defense compared to standard models. The engine is tuned for low-speed torque, allowing for powerful pushes. The primary armament is the assault axe, detailed with illustrations showing its unique blade and handle components, and its ability to extend and fold for different combat situations or storage. The page also introduces the Increased Power Pack, a retrofit part developed to boost the Rishi engine's output, akin to a coprocessor or overdrive unit in a computer. It connects via expansion channels on the Kubu F2 and is noted as a joint development by members of the Imperial and Paris Combat Reviews. A charming comic strip segment features the feline Nyan unit, comically attempting to power up, with a humorous reference to playing a strategy game and trying to conquer the world as the Nyan Empire. Overall, the page provides an in-depth look at a specific, souped UP mecha variant and its equipment, showcasing the detailed world-building of the series, alongside a light-hearted comic relief. This page dives deep into the mechanics of Pachito Shanmage. Hisatsu Shigotonen, a Dreamcast simulation title based on the popular Japanese historical drama. As any serious player knows, mastering the reach is paramount in pachinko games, and this page lays out the incredibly complex system for this particular entry. It presents a comprehensive flowchart, detailing the flow from digital reel spin to various anticipation events and different types of reaches, which are the key moments where a big win is possible. You'll see familiar faces from the Hisatsu Shigotonen series appearing in screenshots and illustrations, indicating specific reach patterns or outcomes. The guide explains the probability and excitement level associated with different sequences, such as the arrival of clients, various character-specific reaches like those featuring Mondo, Yuji, or the bad guys, and special premium reaches guaranteeing a win. The goal is to help players understand and anticipate the crucial moments, turning complex patterns into exploitable strategy. There's also a standard game data box, detailing its release information and basic specs. This page is essential reading for anyone looking to truly conquer this detailed pachinko simulation. This page introduces a unique simulation game titled Bakuha Kaitai Bomber Heihei. As an expert, I can tell you this game puts you in the shoes of a demolition expert. The core gameplay revolves around using a limited amount of explosives to carefully demolish buildings, aiming for complete destruction while minimizing damage to the surroundings. The challenge increases as you progress, dealing with more complex structures and calculating the precise placement and timing of your charges. The page breaks down the process, showing screenshots of bomb placement, simultaneous detonation, and aiming for specific destruction targets. Beyond the main demolition tasks, the game offers variety, with modes like a story mode, featuring comedic voice acting by a real comedy duo, a free mode, and even a sniper mode. This sniper mode isn't quite what you might expect, involving minigames like attacking from a helicopter, using a dump truck, or swinging a hammer, adding a layer of quirky Japanese humor to the proceedings. Screenshots illustrate the demolition in action, and the helicopter view for the sniper mode. Overall, the page highlights this game as a novel idea in the simulation genre, going beyond simple destruction to incorporate strategy and even comedic elements. This page provides a preview of the romance-adventure game, Tentama, First Sunnyside, developed by Kid for the Dreamcast. As an expert on the Dreamcast library, I know Kid was renowned for their narrative-driven visual novels, and this title fits right in. The main visual showcases the game's charming anime art style and primary characters, including several girls with angelic wings and a small bird creature, all looking very cheerful. The game's premise, as described, centers on an angel in training whose final exam is to bring happiness, specifically in the form of love, to a human protagonist. The story follows the angel Corinne as she searches for this happiness on Earth and explores the various romantic encounters and the evolving emotions of the young girls involved. It promises a heartwarming, if perhaps bittersweet, narrative. The page confirms the game is an adventure title with a focus on romance and mentions new characters exclusive to the Dreamcast version, energetic twin sisters who add a touch of humor and charm. This page provides further details on Tentama, First Sunnyside, offering character profiles and a story prologue. We see profiles for the game's cast, including the main apprentice angel Karen, whose mission is to bring happiness to the protagonist. Other apprentice angels featured are A Shoi, who is clumsy but good at housework, and Nanaka, who works to help the protagonist's childhood friends find love. The energetic twin sisters Mami and Kage are also introduced as junior apprentice angels. Among the human characters is Futaba, a classmate with hidden feelings for the protagonist. A prologue sets the scene, detailing the protagonist's reunion with Futaba before the angels arrive. The page concludes with an interview with Satomi Kurogi, the voice actress for Corinne, discussing her role and the significant voice acting additions for the Dreamcast version, noting the changes from the earlier release. This page delves deeper into Tentama, First Sunnyside, shifting focus to the human cast surrounding the protagonist, Shina. We're introduced to key characters like his childhood friends, Shinatsu Shinozaki and Takafumi Aizawa, along with Takafumi's sister, Sachiko Aizawa. The page also features profiles for classmates at Shina's high school, including Rikako Enoki, a spiritual girl who can see the apprentice angels, and Yuri Tanaka, a classmate who gathers information. Finally, we see Yuka Nanase, a university student encountered in town. The page uses screenshots to illustrate scenes, such as Chinatsu and Shina at a crepe shop, or Rikako and Shina at a shrine. The text explains how the apprentice angels, like Corinne and Nanaka, introduced previously, become involved in Shina's life, attempting to guide him towards love as part of their graduation exam, connecting with these various characters along the way. It gives a solid overview of the supporting cast and the romantic relationships that form the core of the game's story. This page continues our look at Tentama, First Sunnyside, shifting focus to more of the human characters orbiting the protagonist, Shina. We get details on events like a culture festival, highlighting interactions involving Hina and Hatsune. Character profiles introduce Mao Odaka, a 15-year-old junior high student, and Hatsune Yoshizawa, a 17-year-old second-year high school student. Hatsune is noted as an ace in the lacrosse club and good friends with Mao, though she struggles with confidence. They meet Shina through Mao. The page also glimpses specific story points, such as Mao and Shina's first date, and a reunion between Shina and Yuka after the rain. Yuka Nanase was introduced on the previous page as a university student Shina encounters. The large visual on the page features two girls enjoying the beach, under the tagline, "Find the Bluebird," which is likely the game's central theme or goal. These girls appear to be Yuka, and possibly Hatsune, suggesting romantic possibilities on the beach as part of the game's story. This page shifts focus to Daiji I Chariot Fantasy, a visual novel adventure game from Broccoli. The main character, Daiji I Chariot, has lost her memory and is transported to another world, embarking on 7 slightly sad stories. The page highlights the game's visual appeal, particularly emphasizing the inclusion of numerous high-quality movies, including the opening and various character appearance scenes. It notes that these movies can be rewatched after being viewed once, The game is set to release on September 6th, with both standard and limited editions available. The limited edition includes a special visual memo device, a 2002 calendar featuring game characters, and the game's soundtrack CD. This page continues the coverage of DGI Fantasy, delving into some of the unique characters you'll encounter in this adventure. We're introduced to a pair of twins who look like angels, Loon and Luna. Apparently, Loon, the older brother, can fly like their kind are supposed to, while Luna, the younger brother, is physically weak and cannot fly, which is a source of some complex for him. Next up is Erica, who serves as a security guard. Despite appearing cool and perhaps stern, she's actually quite kind and offers the protagonist lodging and food, even if the lodging turns out to be a less than comfortable bed in a detention area. She's described as a good person overall. We also meet Wendy, a proud thief who lives in the forest. Abandoned there as a child, she grew up strong and cheerful. She has a friendly relationship with the protagonist, despite being a thief who steals from the village. Although she looks young, she's said to be 15. Finally, the page highlights that the main Diki Chariot characters, Usada and Puchiko, also play significant roles with their own scenarios, suggesting that depending on your choices, you might even see the popular pair La Vie en Rose and Petite Chera make appearances. The game promises a diverse cast beyond the main story characters. This page features Run equals Dim as Black Soul, an interesting strategy RPG from Idea Factory. The game challenges players with diverse missions including escort, obstruction, and facility defense. Highlighted here is a destruction mission, where the objective is to infiltrate and destroy a corporate factory facility. Mission details reveal a tactical scenario. The factory is defended by two specific RB units, a high mobility type and a long range type, which complicates a direct assault. The recommended strategy is a classic feint. The main force distracts the enemy RBs, while a separate unit flanks to hit the lightly defended factory itself, aiming for 0 casualties. The page includes a tactical map showing planned battle points and the location of the player's special training section. We're also introduced to Chandler equals Niru, the chief of the RB Special Training Section, likely a key character providing mission briefings and strategic insights within the game. It's an engaging look at the tactical depth promised by this simulation title. This page continues detailing the strategic gameplay of Run equals Dim as Black Soul, walking us through a specific mission scenario. We see the mission unfold across 3 scenes, illustrated with gameplay screenshots. Scene 01 describes the team's arrival at the target area undetected, only to discover the factory is defended by 2 powerful enemy RB units, including a long-range type equipped with a new, unexpectedly powerful cannon. This immediately elevates the mission difficulty. Scene 02 outlines the tactical approach. The team splits. Yutaka, Chris, and James move to directly engage the enemy defenses to draw their attention, while Hiroko takes a separate, less direct route aiming to reach and destroy the target factory facility. The success hinges on how effectively the main force can divert the enemy. Scene 03 depicts the main force facing intense fire, with Chris taking significant damage from the long-range cannon. Despite the unexpected ferocity of the enemy attack, the distraction works. Hiroko successfully reaches the factory and destroys it, completing the primary objective. Although the mission is a success, the main force took considerable damage, highlighting the risks involved. On the right, we're introduced to Roman equals Craner, described as an RB pilot who seeks beauty in combat and reportedly avoids deceptive tactics, earning him the nickname Knight from his comrades. This character seems to represent a different philosophy within the game's cast. The page effectively demonstrates the game's focus on strategic planning and execution against challenging enemy forces. This page previews Pro Yaku Team Wotsukuru and Asobu, the latest iteration of Sega's popular baseball series for the Dreamcast. The focus here is firmly on the innovative action gameplay, dubbed Asobu, which lets you step onto the field as a single player. Forget controlling the whole team. This is about the individual experience. The standout feature is the completely new batting control system. Using analog sticks and triggers, the game emphasizes timing your swing with what they call waist timing, shifting your weight to drive the ball. This is designed to give you an unprecedented feel of actually swinging the bat, unlike anything seen in previous action baseball games. You can decide whether to aim for a massive power hit or go for a more skilled contact play, adding strategic depth to every at-bat. The game is presented in full 3D, capturing the feel of a live baseball broadcast. This version also adds a significant number of new players, bringing the total roster to 87. It sounds like Sega is really pushing the boundaries of baseball simulation with this release. This page continues the deep dive into the action side of Pro Yaku Team Wo Tsukaru and Asobu, specifically focusing on defense. The game puts you directly into the perspective of the fielder, a radical departure from traditional baseball games. You're not moving a cursor. You're seeing through the player's eyes, finding the ball, and chasing it down. This creates a powerful sense of immersion and control, making fielding feel incredibly intuitive and connected to the player character. They highlight the excitement of making splendid fine plays, like diving catches. Chasing down fly balls is a key feature from the fielder's viewpoint. The game provides intuitive controls with an arrow guiding you toward the ball's predicted landing spot, adding a strategic challenge as wind can affect the trajectory. It aims to replicate the real-world challenge and satisfaction, or frustration, of fielding. The game even adjusts player attributes like outfielder, arm strength, and runner speed to feel authentic. Finally, the page unveils 87 new players joining the game, including many notable rookies from the year. A large table lists these players by team, name, and primary position, allowing fans to see who's been added to the roster. This significant influx of new talent is a major draw for building your ultimate team. This page dives into the final Dreamcast installment of the flight simulation series, Aero Dancing It, which is just 2 weeks away from takeoff. A striking new color scheme for the Harrier jet is featured, appearing both in key art and in the game itself, offering players a fresh look for vertical landings and takeoffs. The article highlights the game's net battle capabilities, a feature synonymous with the series. It introduces a dedicated WW2 lobby, specifically for propeller-driven aircraft battles, resolving issues where different aircraft types were mixed in previous lobbies. This allows for pure dogfighting experiences from that era. Excitingly, the game also supports cross-platform battles with the PC version, enabling players on both systems to engage in online combat. Screenshots showcase various aspects of the game, including cockpit views, dogfighting action with propeller planes, and the Internet Battle menu, where players can select lobbies, create match rooms, choose aircraft, and form teams. The game is described as a communication and battle-focused fan disc, noted by a reviewer as the series' strongest fan disc yet, promising a substantial volume of content for its price. The Aero Dancing Eye fan disc is packed with bonus content. It features over 200 replay videos, showcasing expert techniques and funny moments. The special save data unlocks all aircraft from every Aero Dancing title. Beyond gameplay, there's a wealth of video content, including commercials, promotional videos, and previously unreleased event footage. Tsubasa Family's Thanks offers replays as a thank you to players. The nostalgic Sun King clip is also available. The Making Room provides insight into the game's development. Finally, the AV-8B Challenge mode focuses on mastering the Harrier's hovering abilities. This fan disc offers significant value for dedicated players. This page features new information on the upcoming Dreamcast romance adventure game, Candy Stripe Apprentice Angel. Nearing its release, the game is set in a hospital and centers around an in-hospital romance theme. It is scheduled for release on September 27th, with both a standard edition and a limited edition available. The main focus is on Emiko Sonoda, a clumsy but adorable apprentice nurse who is described as being like a cute younger sister. Her character profile includes personal data such as her height and measurements, and illustrations showcase her in various outfits including nurse uniforms for different seasons, a surgical gown, and a festive Santa costume. The page also includes an interview with Kaya Wada, who voices Emiko. A highlight is the limited edition, which is packed with exclusive themed goods such as a first aid kit, a medical chart-style binder, a pen light, and capsule-shaped keychains. The game is currently 80% complete. This page unveils details on Sega Bass Fishing 2, the sequel to the popular fishing simulator. The core theme here is realism, delving deeply into the ecology of bass. To succeed, you'll need to understand their behavior and adapt your fishing technique based on real-world factors. The game faithfully simulates this, making tactical fishing essential to landing big catches. You can even learn about bass ecology simply by playing. A highlight is the free fishing mode, which lets you freely set the season, weather, and time of day,
offering a realistic experience where conditions drastically alter fishing success. Choosing the right lure is also crucial. Even the same lure performs differently depending on whether it's sunny or rainy, requiring careful consideration of color and type. The game world features various fishing spots. Exploring these locations and identifying promising areas is key, with a fish finder helping you locate schools of bass underwater. This strategic aspect of searching for fish before casting adds another layer of realism. The game is shown as being 95% complete. This page introduces Sega Extreme Sports, an action-packed game focusing on thrilling, dangerous sports rarely seen in gaming before. It challenges players with 6 distinct events designed to deliver excitement not easily found in the real world. The featured extreme sports include snowboarding, mountain biking, ATV racing, speed gliding, bungee jumping, and sky surfing. Each offers a unique challenge, from navigating treacherous slopes and terrains to mastering complex aerial maneuvers. The page highlights 4 key competitors: Nina from Sweden, Raga from Jamaica, Noel from England, and Kath from America, each bringing their own style to the extreme challenges. The content reflects that the game is nearing completion, promising an intense experience where players can virtually tackle these daring activities. It's positioned as a way to try sports that are otherwise difficult to access, emphasizing the high-octane nature of the gameplay. This page features Neon Genesis Evangelion, typing Hokan Keikaku, a typing game for the Dreamcast that lets you practice typing alongside characters from the popular anime series. It highlights how the game incorporates famous scenes and characters, allowing players to enjoy typing practice in a fun and engaging way, even including love confessions and karaoke. The page details different lessons, showcasing the variety of content. Lesson 4, Confession of Love, involves typing lines of dialogue from heartfelt scenes with characters like Maya, Asuka, and Rei, aiming to capture their hearts. Lesson 5, Karaoke, puts you in a karaoke setting with Shinji, Rei, and Asuka, where you type song lyrics displayed on the screen. Lesson 6, Stopping Jaws Rampage, presents a more action-oriented challenge where you type quickly to input passwords and halt the rampage of Jet alone. The article emphasizes that the game offers intense lessons as you progress through the latter half, pushing players to improve their typing speed and accuracy while revisiting memorable moments from the series. It also briefly mentions a limited edition Natsurio set, which includes exclusive merchandise like a hand towel and fan. This game offers a unique blend of typing practice and Evangelion fan service. This page delves into a strategy guide for the adventure game Honu no Seibo the Virgin on Megiddo, focusing on the initial chapters and the crucial romance and affection systems. The guide emphasizes avoiding a bad end scenario where you skip chapters due to critical incorrect choices, advising players to reload and try again if this happens. The guide introduces 5 main heroines: Akimura Mizuki, Kaoji Tomoe, Moriguchi Shino, Kitagawa Masayo, and Misaki Kyoko. It provides brief tips on how to navigate interactions to build romance with each of them. A key system highlighted is the affection, Kukando, parameter, which is set for the 5 main girls. This value indicates how favorably they view the player character, and primarily changes through dialogue choices. Neglecting their care can lead to lonely endings. The page explains that raising affection is crucial for achieving specific events, and ultimately, the good endings. A critical point for increasing affection is the timed answer system, where correct responses under pressure are essential, as mistakes can negatively impact affection and lead down bad paths. The guide notes that character expressions change based on their affection level, happy and welcoming when high, cold and distant when low. This visual feedback is important for players to monitor their progress. This page provides a detailed walkthrough for the early chapters of Honu no Seibo the Virgin on Megiddo, guiding players through chapters 1 and 2 and highlighting critical choices. It starts with the intense opening scene of escaping a burning building within a strict time limit, emphasizing the need to investigate the surroundings to find the necessary tool. Chapter 1 continues with the protagonist's arrival in Izanami City, quickly thrusting them into a mysterious, human spontaneous combustion event. The guide details the subsequent chase sequence and the first encounters with key characters like Minaze and Nomura, hinting at Nomura's hacking skills being useful for information gathering. Chapter 2 moves into the school setting, focusing on investigating a fire incident. The walkthrough outlines the necessary steps for gathering information through school interviews and mentions specific characters to talk to, such as Kyoko and Teiki,
the student council president. A crucial part of the investigation involves returning to the dorm to gather tools and examine the scene forensically, uncovering the cause of the fire as electromagnetic wave resonance. The chapter culminates in a reunion with Koharu, a character the protagonist had been searching for. The guide stresses the importance of making specific choices, such as jumping from a window in Chapter 1 for a good end path, linking back to the critical decision-making and affection system discussed previously. It's clear that following the guide's steps and making the correct choices is essential to progress and uncover the truth behind the mysterious events. This page delves deeper into the guide for Ono no Seibo, the Virgin on Megiddo, specifically covering the latter part of Chapter 2, focusing on the events of May 25, 26th, and leading into the resolution on May 28. The walkthrough continues to guide players through the investigation surrounding the mysterious fires, shifting focus to the mansion owned by Murasaki and Ba. Key events covered include receiving requests and advice from other characters, exploring the mansion, uncovering secrets, and navigating critical situations. The guide meticulously lists choices and their impact on character affection, reinforcing the importance of building relationships. A particularly crucial section highlights a life-or-death situation on May 28 titled, How to Save Ba, detailing a critical choice where selecting the wrong option, such as hesitating or picking the wrong hand, can lead directly to a game over. This emphasizes a major turning point in the narrative. The page also points out a chance to unlock a valuable CG image, advising players not to miss the opportunity. The walkthrough concludes with the resolution of the incident tied to the mansion fire, setting the stage for Chapter 3. Chapter 3 of Ono no Seibo, Providence, details the investigation into the Mummy Man and escalating student conflicts, initiated by the protagonist, Kenjin, at Manese's request. The guide meticulously covers events from June 3rd to 5th, including key actions like gathering information, using the jet bicycle, and reporting progress. Players will encounter events such as spontaneous human combustion, system failures, and the discovery of Ishikiri's involvement. The guide emphasizes the importance of affection points, providing specific dialogue choices that influence relationships with characters like Manese and Koiki. Critical choices, like rescuing Koki, are highlighted to prevent a game over. It also advises on raising Manese's affection and offers a detailed walkthrough to find Ishikiri, warning against incorrect choices that immediately end the game. The page further includes screenshots and information about a number riddle. This page provides a detailed strategy guide for episodes 15 and 16 of Eldorado Gate Volume 6. Developed by Capcom, this serial unit RPG is highlighted with key information like its genre and player count. The guide emphasizes field navigation, notable items, and specific enemy characteristics. Episode 15, titled The Plan to Exterminate the Gabri Tribe, follows Shin and Sophie's pursuit. An area map of the Laboru region is shown, detailing exploration points. The guide covers areas like Zora Forest, emphasizing enemy attributes, water, and recommended equipment, light. It warns players about a tricky ghost chest. It also details navigating Gliss Cliff to chase Gigi, noting fire attribute enemies, and the need for water weapons. A section points out a side quest to find a missing drunk character. The Gabri's Hidden Village section describes the confrontation and the sacrifice event involving Castellan and Kiska. Gigi's special abilities are also detailed, including elemental skills and a reflect technique. Episode 16, Bach Mountain Pass, guides players through different courses. The initial Sunlight course features tree attribute enemies, suggesting equipment strategy. It advises a specific path at the first fork to collect an item before proceeding. The Land of Fate section stresses the importance of utilizing the member swap function to ensure a 4-person party at the start, and offers a strategy for defeating a specific monster. The guide includes several screenshots showing battles, events, and character dialogue, providing visual context for the walkthrough points. Episode 16 of Eldorado Gate Volume 6, The 12 Oni Gods, follows Gigi's transformation and Rias's attack, prompting allies to the Land of Fate. This guide details exploration across Medela, Ladna, and Aln Bira, focusing on key locations like the sky battleship Zenesu, Rias Battle, and the Shrine of Light, light attribute enemies. Players recruit Conan and Radia in Medela Town, and the guide stresses item purchasing beforehand. The guide covers challenges within the shrines of the emblem, water, fire, tree, including emblem collection and navigating hazards, with significant item rewards like Ogus stones and powerful gear. Laudna Town offers functional shops and a casino, while Aln Bira Town features a wedding minigame. The journey culminates at the Gyarados Ice Wall in the Land of Fate, where card exchange replaces monster battles, marking the end of Volume 16. The guide provides vital enemy attribute and navigation tips for success. This guide analyzes the monsters in Eldorado Gate Volume 6, focusing on episodes 15 and 16. Episode 15 introduces the Stinger Coin, Copier/Copied, and Gaburi. Episode 16 features Shrine Emblem Guardians like Manta, Fang, and Dinospheres, along with Dodonga, HP Recovery, Ragagos, Drops Tearfing, Kingjel, Fire Absorption, and Gigantos. Boss strategies are provided. The Holy Beast Shine requires stat boosting and uses powerful attacks. Xenon and Rami are status ailment users, particularly Xenon, and utilize a combined Light Lion attack. Cosmo and Cosmo revive if not defeated simultaneously, demanding careful timing. The guide equips players with essential knowledge for overcoming the diverse enemy roster. This page is dedicated to the Eldorado Gate series, serving as a fan page within Gabu Spirits Volume 30. It highlights the release of Volume 6 and looks ahead to the upcoming final installment, Volume 7, scheduled for October 10, 2001. To mark this period, a character popularity poll is announced, inviting fans to vote for their favorites. The staff voice section features Hironobu Takeshita from Capcom, who discusses the sudden appearance of the warlord Balthus in Volume 6. He reveals that Balthus was not originally planned, but was added late in development to enhance the story's climax, leading to production challenges despite being designed by the legendary Yoshitaka Amano. A reader's contribution ponders the true identity of the character Pantros, speculating on his origins. The page also includes a Gab.com art library, showcasing impressive fan-submitted illustrations of characters like Radia and Bud, encouraging more contributions. The character popularity poll details are laid out, explaining how fans can submit their votes via postcard by ranking their top 3 choices from the extensive cast, including the key characters who inherited the demon god's power, such as Gomez, Kanan, and Radia. Postcards for submissions are encouraged, with prizes offered for featured content. This guide unlocks secrets and characters in the 3D action shooter, Outrigger. During Attract mode, pressing B shows difficulty rankings and cycles through characters and cameras. Customize characters by rotating them with the SL and R triggers. Taunts are performed by holding the weapon change button after defeating an enemy. The guide details unlocking new characters by clearing missions. Beginner missions unlock characters like Shinobi and Commander. Intermediate missions unlock Scarpin and Seba. Advanced missions give you Proofer and DK. Finally, clearing the final mission unlocks Salamander, the character with the most powerful weapons. The guide offers details on each character's unique weapons, highlighting their strengths and weaknesses. This guide reveals secrets and unlocks for Outrigger. Clearing Intermediate or Advanced Arcade mode unlocks 4 character color options, bringing the total to 8 for select characters. Completing the trial weapon test in Mission mode unlocks the test weapons, GLG 40mm, OICW, and PSG-1. Advanced Mission 4 unlocks the Decoy Bomb. New versus mode stages are unlocked by clearing them in Mission mode, including Dark variants, and 2 original maps, OLGdo and Building. Completing all missions across all difficulties adds a movie test option, allowing viewing of the opening, original ending, and a promotional movie. The game boasts excellent controller compatibility, supporting the Dreamcast gun, twin stick, racing controller, and even the Maraca controller. This page provides a strategy guide for the Dreamcast communication and board game, Gurun Gurun, on Sen 2. The core concept highlighted is obtaining unique character parts to create a personalized avatar, emphasizing that this game thrives on social interaction and online play. The guide explains that character parts, like different hairstyles, accessories such as glasses or devil horns, and clothing, are unlocked by fulfilling specific in-game conditions. These conditions range from playing the various built-in games like Mahjong, Uno, and Poker, to engaging with the online features, such as accumulating connection days, or exchanging name cards with other players. The more time and effort you put into the game, especially online, the more customization options become available. Furthermore, the page discusses the Open Dice name registration system, advising players to register their desired name early, as it's a shared system that will be used for future compatible software. Screenshots illustrate the character customization screen, showing available part options, and display a character sporting some unique items. This page explores the extensive event chat features available in Gurun Gurun Onsen 2, emphasizing that chat itself is a major part of the fun. The game boasts 15 types of chat rooms planned, with 7 already accessible, each offering unique settings and interactive elements beyond simple conversation. You can chat in diverse environments, like an underwater scene with fish, an after-school classroom that displays themes on a blackboard, or even go for a drive. Other rooms shown include a totem pole where characters' heads stack vertically, and a relaxing Japanese-style hot spring inn room. A detailed breakdown is provided for the Hot Spring Quiz Show, a dedicated chat event mode. This functions as a quiz game where a designated leader manages everything. The leader can trigger automatic abstract questions or input custom questions using specific keyword commands. The system supports a thinking time phase and allows the leader to judge answers as correct or incorrect using buzzer sounds, all controlled via keywords. Scoring is flexible, enabling the leader to award points up to 5 per participant using a simple command structure. The page also briefly touches on other special chat rooms, such as My Room, which allows for customization of the environment, and a hot spring debate room designed with a TV broadcast aesthetic. This page dives into the world of Derby Stallion, likely Derby Tsuku 2, offering a comprehensive strategy guide focused on managing your farm and breeding winning horses to avoid bankruptcy. It emphasizes boosting farm funds through careful planning. Key early game advice focuses on breeding early bloomers for quick returns and prioritizing cheaper stallions initially, highlighting that even with lower cost studs, you can produce Bog 1 class horses if you manage your funds effectively, aiming to keep at least 500 million yen on hand. As you progress, the guide shifts to earning steadily through limited races and local heavy handicaps, using horses bred with strong local ability, mentioning specific bloodlines like Sunday Silence becoming available later. For later game, it suggests acquiring high-value mares through private sales, noting significant discounts are possible compared to auction. The page also tackles challenging scenarios, offering tips on how to escape a pinch like facing bankruptcy, dealing with injured horses, emphasizing early turnout to pasture, or repeated breeding failures, suggesting specific facilities and strategies. It includes recommended breeding combinations as examples for players to try, noting that the fundamental pairing involves speed from the father and stamina from the mother in this version of the game. Screenshots throughout illustrate horse stats, race screens, and farm facilities, grounding the advice in the game's visuals. This page continues the strategy guide for Derby Stallion, likely Derby Tsuku 2, highlighting key new and enhanced features that distinguish it from previous entries. It introduces a quirky quiz event where answering questions about horse racing in the game can earn you valuable treasure. The guide then focuses heavily on breeding, emphasizing the significantly enhanced effect of outbreeding in this version compared to the last. It delves into refined breeding theories, including standard pairings, complex crossbreeding over multiple generations, and methods involving 5th generation lineage. A major highlight is the introduction of new stallions that become available upon meeting specific in-game conditions, encouraging players to actively seek them out. The game also features the expanded horse park facility, offering features like a weather observatory to help plan races, and a unique system where collecting cats can positively affect your horse's performance by stabilizing their spirit. Furthermore, a new competitive element, Tsukuru C, is detailed. This mode features challenging series races, where rival horses are always in peak condition, providing a stern test. It also boasts greatly enhanced versus features, and allows players to issue more specific running style instructions during races. The overall impression from the analysis is that this version represents a significant evolution, particularly in its deep breeding system and race dynamics, which becomes apparent as you progress through the game. This guide focuses on deck building in Culdecept 2, emphasizing the effectiveness of monocolor decks due to the game's elemental card focus. Advantages include simplified mana,
reduced terrain modification costs, and powerful element-specific spells. Idol cards, like Gold Idol, are highlighted for combo support and early-game creature summoning. Screenshots show key cards such as Amber Ring and Plus Idol, and illustrate mechanics like reduced terrain change costs. The guide also introduces the Big Blue deck, centered around the water creature Leviathan and its terrain transforming ability. The build's card list is provided. General deck building advice emphasizes balancing creatures, items, and spells, encouraging players to monitor card type ratios using the book information window. This page provides the final installment of the story mode guide for Cul-de-Sac 2. It focuses on Stage 14, set in Kwanzaa Town, describing the large map split into 3 distinct areas, and highlighting the challenging team battle against the fire-using Gamajin and water-using Muli NN, who employ balanced attack and defense strategies. Following the main stage guide, the page offers countermeasures for key CPU opponents encountered in the latter half of the story mode. It briefly outlines the tendencies and suggested approaches for characters such as Dr. Morok, Neutral Focus, Gemery, Nature Focus, Whirlwind, Wind Focus, Gamajin, Fire Focus, Muli NN, Water Focus, and Balbarit, Powerful Cards and Overall Damage. Finally, there's a Cul-de-Sac Corner section, showcasing fan submissions, including fan art in the Scepters Gallery, featuring characters like Serena, and soliciting entries for a temporary title contest for the corner itself. A correction is noted at the bottom regarding an illustrator's name mentioned in a previous issue. This page delves into the world of Princess Maker Collection, a simulation game where you raise a daughter over several years. The goal is to guide her life and career to achieve specific endings, and this guide aims to help you reach any desired future for your daughter. The game features a vast number of potential endings, with Princess Maker 2 alone boasting 77 different possibilities. These outcomes are heavily influenced by your daughter's stats, her final occupation, and her rank within that occupation. The page explains that occupations and ranks are determined by skill levels and evaluation scores achieved towards the end of her upbringing. While the page includes extensive tables detailing the specific requirements for various endings, occupations, and ranks based on numerical stats and conditions, the core concept is straightforward. Cultivating specific skills and evaluations will lead to different career paths and levels of success, ultimately determining the daughter's final future shown in the ending. There are different categories of careers like martial arts, magic, social, and more, each with multiple ranks from S down to D, requiring different attribute levels to attain. This page of the Guide for Princess Maker Collection focuses on achieving various endings and managing your daughter's development through classes and part-time jobs. It breaks down special marriage endings, like marrying the prince or even the demon king, outlining the high stat requirements and relational conditions needed. General endings are determined by her final occupation, or, if her rank is low enough, by the type of part-time work she did most often. The guide details how studying progresses through beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels, increasing stat gains, but also costing more. It also explains the impact of various part-time jobs available at different ages, showing how they affect specific stats, and, notably, stress, warning that high stress can be dangerous. There's a table showing how the father's occupation influences starting stats. Finally, there are strategic tips. How to overcome the common issue of low funds, suggesting ways to get significant income boosts, and a neat trick involving the daughter's birthday to win the cooking contest at the Harvest Festival early on. It also advises using martial arts training not just for stats, but for finding items and earning money by fighting monsters, while reminding you to mitigate the resulting sin. The next page of the Guide for Princess Maker Collection delves into the specifics of raising your daughter, particularly focusing on how the father's occupation shapes her initial stats, monthly stat gains, and financial resources. It shows how choosing different professions like merchant, knight, or traveling performer affects starting money, yearly income, and debt limits. The main focus shifts to achieving the game's many endings, detailing the requirements for numerous outcomes. This includes condition lists for status-based endings like Queen, Empress, and various noble roles, often requiring high levels across multiple stats, such as intelligence, stamina, pride, charm, and faith. It also outlines conditions for job-related endings,
like teacher, scholar, merchant, and even unique ones tied to specific activities like mining or farming part-time jobs. Furthermore, the page provides conditions for special marriage endings with characters like the Prince, Mole, Prince, and Demon King, explaining that these require not just high stats, but also triggering specific events or repeated encounters in certain locations, like the palace or during vacations. These details highlight the depth and variety of potential outcomes in the game, emphasizing that success often relies on a careful balance of training, work, and managing key stats. This Princess Maker Collection Guide explains the daughter's emotional and physical states and their impact on her growth. 6 states, including normal, affect how she learns and develops. Negative states like pouty, naughty, and delinquent hinder progress, potentially causing issues like skipping work and associating with negative influences. Some starting scenarios, like a specific father occupation, can initiate the daughter in a delinquent state. The guide details how different states affect stat gains from classes and part-time jobs. Negative states often result in decreased or negative stat changes. Screenshots illustrate these scenarios, highlighting that certain states can make work impossible. Furthermore, it introduces hidden jobs, hostess and bouncer, which become available under specific conditions. Ultimately, the guide emphasizes the critical role of managing the daughter's state to optimize training and achieve desired career and life outcomes. This page presents the second part of the strategy guide for the Dreamcast visual novel, Fate of Heart. It focuses on achieving the perfect chart, which essentially leads players towards the true ending by navigating specific crucial events and choices. The guide centers around the route for the heroine Shizuku Tsuiyumu. The layout details key events chronologically, starting from July 31st and progressing through early August. For each date, it outlines the necessary actions or conditions, often related to specific dialogue options or having reached a certain affection level with Shizuku. Screenshots from the game illustrate these moments, such as Shizuku at the pool or in her room. A dedicated section provides a table listing dialogue choices when interacting with Shizuku, showing the affection point increase for each correct response, which is vital for unlocking later events and staying on her path towards the true ending. The guide explicitly marks choices required for the true ending, emphasizing their importance. It's clear this guide is designed for players aiming to fully complete Shizuku's story and unlock the best possible outcome. The next page of the Fate of Heart strategy guide in Dorimaga magazine shifts focus after completing a heroine's route. It explains that after clearing the game, players unlock helpful extras like the shortcut feature, allowing them to jump directly to key scenes like ending branches, making subsequent playthroughs much faster. Additionally, achieving a good ending with a heroine unlocks a unique short substory for them, adding more content to experience. These range from comedic to emotional, and often have simple choices that lead to different outcomes within the mini-story. The magazine also highlights an interesting initiative, a public recruitment for user-created append scenarios for Fate of Heart, similar to the one for Never 7. Players can submit their own original stories based on the game world, with some already available for download from the official website. Players are advised to finish the main game first, as these fan-made stories might contain spoilers. Continuing the main walkthrough, this page provides the crucial conversation choices needed to progress Miyama Yuki's route. It lists specific dates and dialogue options, showing how many affection points each correct choice provides. Following these steps on key dates in late July and early August, such as choosing how to react at the pool or deciding whether to chase after Yuki, is essential to stay on her path and deepen your relationship, working towards her specific ending. Screenshots accompany these steps, illustrating the moments when these important decisions are made. This page of the Fate of Heart strategy guide delves into the route for Shiragiku Sakuraka. It provides a chronological breakdown of important events and conversation choices needed to successfully navigate her story path and raise her affection level. The guide highlights key dates starting from July 5th, detailing specific encounters and necessary dialogue selections. A handy section explicitly lists the date, required choice, and how many affection points you gain, making it easy to follow along. Important moments covered include the initial meeting, going to the game center, a significant secret meeting on July 15th, essential for the good ending, the morning call event on July 21st, watching fireworks on July 23rd, spending the night on July 29th, the invitation to the pool on July 30th, and the critical decision on August 6th. Screenshots are included for each major event, giving players a visual reference point for where these crucial choices occur. Following these steps meticulously is vital to stay on Sakuraga's dedicated route and achieve her ending in Fate of Heart. The check sections point out particularly important conditions or events that must be met to proceed correctly. This guide details the strategy for achieving the good ending in Akina Saionji's route of Fate of Heart. The critical path relies heavily on specific choices at the coffee shop, starting from July 29th. It outlines a chronological sequence of events, including attracting Hayate on July 31st, playing a game with Akina on August 5th, and navigating Uka on August 6th. The guide highlights the importance of decisions around August 7th, and how the Mother Horse state influences choices between August 8th and 10th. Key events include the Twilight Lavender Field on August 11th, and a crucial interaction on August 12th. A detailed table provides dialogue options, affection gains, and check markers indicating crucial decisions. Screenshots illustrate key moments and locations, ensuring players stay on track to unlock Akina's desired ending. Following this guide meticulously is essential for success. This page highlights new special quests in Phantasy Star Online, with a primary focus on the Tinkerbell's Dog 2 quest released in July. This solo online quest tasks the player, alongside Sonic the Hedgehog and his friends, with finding a lost dog. The quest emphasizes puzzle solving and item collection over combat. The guide breaks the quest down into 3 parts, using Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in a specific order to clear barriers, navigating tricky areas, including timed switches, and interacting with Sonic through a rock-paper-scissors game to win items like a small ring. The page also includes a Gallery Pioneer for fan art and a Pso Regol Research Society Virtu area, likely a community-driven resource for strategies. The quests demonstrate an interesting integration of Sega characters into the Saipso experience. Quote, "This page details 2 special quests in Phantasy Star Online. Vanished Maracas, a multiplayer quest, challenges players with exploration and puzzle solving in forest and cave environments, requiring them to find specific discs to progress, and culminating in a boss fight against de Role. A notable aspect is the early availability of Disc 3, crucial for later stages, hidden by the Secretary. Blaze of the Central Dome is a download quest focusing on rescuing hunters from a fiery environment, emphasizing the use of both melee and ranged combat. Players must clear enemies and extinguish flames before rescuing survivors. Completion rewards Sonic's Gloves, normal difficulty, and Glory of the Past, very hard ultimate, offering unique items like equipment and a rare mag. These quests highlight Phantasy Star Online's varied content and incentivized gameplay. This page is all about Sonic Adventure 2, specifically focusing on its versus mode and some exciting unlockable characters. It highlights that familiar faces and even past enemies join the fray in this mode, including characters like Big the Cat, Amy Rose, Chaos Zero, Metal Sonic, and the KO. The challenge presented to players is achieving a rank on all missions for every character in the main game to unlock these unique combatants for versus mode. The page showcases the characters, along with brief descriptions of their gameplay types within the mode, such as race, shooting, and hunting. It emphasizes the effort required but positions it as a rewarding goal for players to tackle, offering a chance to play as unexpected characters like Amy with unique dialogue. This page shifts focus within Sonic Adventure 2 to a community challenge, finding Big the Cat hidden throughout the main story stages. While Big is a playable character in versus mode, this section reveals he also pops up in surprising, non-story related locations. The magazine staff confirms his appearance in 6 specific stages across different characters' stories, including City Escape, Prison Lane, Dry Lagoon, Weapons Bed, and even the Shadow Boss Fight area and White Jungle. They encourage players to thoroughly search every corner of the stages and report any other locations they discover, hinting that there might be more hidden bigs than they've found. Below this fun hunt, the page touches upon the unlockable costume changes for the versus mode characters, tying into the previous page's discussion of playable characters. It explains that clearing all 5 missions for each character in the main game unlocks these alternate looks, showcasing screenshots of characters like Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Shadow, Rouge, and Eggman in unique outfits, including Phantasy Star Online inspired gear. It's presented as a rewarding challenge for dedicated players to make the versus battles even more visually interesting. This guide delves into the art of raising and customizing KO in Sonic Adventure 2, Players can influence their Chaos development using Chaos drives found in action stages. Pink/red drives boost strength, green enhances running, yellow improves swimming, and purple/blue increases flying. Repeatedly feeding one color specializes the KO, while balanced feeding maintains its form. Transformations, like the Ghost KO, are achievable through interaction with specific ghost animals, granting unique traits. Skills, such as playing instruments, singing, drawing, and dancing, can be learned in the KO Garden through lessons. These skills offer various animations and interactions, and vary in level. The drawing skill at level 2 depends on the KO's alignment. This detailed system encourages players to experiment and craft their perfect KO companion. This page features a Danger Zone segment, resuming after a break, focusing on Dead or Alive 3 for the Xbox. It promises the latest game information and fan contributions. This first installment highlights a specific beach stage, previously shown only in graphics, with an accompanying interview. The article encourages readers to appreciate the scale of the stage by looking at the image, noting that while Dead or Alive 2 stages were large, this one is significantly bigger, illustrating producer Tomonobu Itagaki's goal of pursuing natural beauty. It discusses how gameplay elements like the danger system will integrate with this natural environment. The interview snippet with Itagaki reveals he visited Microsoft headquarters and met with DirectMarex and NVIDIA engineers to optimize Dead or Alive 3 for the Xbox. He also attended an analyst presentation and played the game, trying out the Japanese Xbox controller, which he found easy to use. The characters used for testing included Lei Feng, Ayan, and Kasumi in a beach and forest stage. The next page continues the look at Dead or Alive 3. Focusing intently on the stunning beach stage. The article highlights the pursuit of natural beauty as a core concept, noting how the detailed environment, from the rich colors of the sunset to the dynamic elements like flying birds, leverages the Xbox's power. Producer Tomonobu Itagaki confirms the stage is a fusion of real-world locations like the Maldives and Australia, resulting in a believable, expansive tropical setting. He addresses the stage's scale, explaining that while initially planned to be even larger, the current size offers substantial playable area extending to the sea. Itagaki also touches upon the integration of the danger system, stating that interactive elements designed to complement the environment are being implemented, making the stage not just beautiful, but also integral to the gameplay experience. The next page dives deeper into the Dead or Alive 3 beach stage, labeling it as a battlefield where the natural environment truly impacts the fight. It highlights the stage's undulating terrain and unique elements like the palm trees, which aren't merely decoration but tactically important. The layout includes potential danger zones, such as a wall marked 2, and suggests dynamic changes based on the tide, all contributing to the distinct play elements of Dua 3. Screenshots illustrate specific moves, like Hitomi's powerful palm strike, and punches that realistically sink her foot into the sand. A notable section reveals a surprising detail. Palm tree nuts can actually fall and hit players, a confirmation from producer Tomonobu Itagaki that this environmental hazard is a deliberate gameplay feature, designed to add a layer of unpredictable fun. A developer diary entry from Itagaki discusses the ongoing work, and confirms that, despite leaks, fan favorite Kasumi will indeed be appearing in Dead or Alive 3. The article also touches upon Hitomi's moveset, noting that while some techniques might resemble others, she primarily features new attacks tailored to her style. Finally, there's a call for fan engagement, seeking predictions, personal danger zone stories, and illustrations. This page presents a special feature delving into the history and aesthetics of game porting. It explores the struggles faced by developers, metaphorically referred to as passionate chefs, in bringing arcade experiences to home platforms during the early days of gaming, specifically the LSI game and 8-bit PC era, from 1978 to 1983. The article highlights two contrasting philosophies of porting: ultimate porting, which prioritizes visual fidelity and replicating the arcade look as closely as possible, exemplified by a screenshot of Double Dragon, and supreme porting, which emphasizes capturing the core gameplay feel and sensation, illustrated with a screenshot of Xevious. The dawn of porting saw titles like the LSI game versions of Donkey Kong, Pengos, and Pac-Man, where limitations of the hardware led to drastically different visual and sometimes gameplay experiences compared to the arcade originals, yet these were groundbreaking for the time. The rise of 8-bit personal computers also brought ports like Xevious to machines such as the X1 and MZ700, showcasing varying degrees of success in adapting complex arcade titles to less powerful home systems. A table on the page lists representative of ported games from this era, covering various titles and hardware like the PC 8001, MZ, FM7, and MSX. The prosperity period, 1983 to 1990, marked a surge in arcade game ports to home consoles, fueled by the Famicom and 8-bit systems. Despite limitations, ports like Xevious on the Famicom proved highly successful, driving hardware growth. Notable examples include Kung Fu, The Tower of Druaga, pioneering hidden elements, and Space Harrier. Gradius, though rough and Outrun, with impressive visuals, were also popular. This era also saw drastic adaptations. Roadrunner became a puzzle game, and the Genji and the Heike clans transformed into an RPG board game. An interview with Nobuyuki Yamashita highlights the Dreamcast's ability to replicate arcade experiences, particularly in network battles. He considers Virtualon Oratorio Tangram a supreme port due to its arcade fidelity and successful online play. This page discusses the prosperity period of arcade game ports between 1987 and 1994, when the 8-bit era gave way to 16-bit systems like the Super Famicom, Mega Drive, and Sharp X68000. The article highlights how these more powerful systems allowed for much higher quality ports, often nearing arcade fidelity. Notable ports showcased include the X68000 version of Gradius, praised for its near-perfect arcade accuracy. Street Fighter II on the Super Famicom is presented as the go-to for home practice. Other featured games are Bubble Bobble, Columns, Super Darius on PC Engine Kendrom, Chase HQ, Night Striker on Mega CD, Ganbare Goemon, Camel Tree on X68000, and Fatal Fury Special on Neo Geo CD. The page also features an interview with Game no Tsubo, a company known for their work on the Sega Ages series, and other ports for systems like the Sega Saturn and 32X. They discuss their philosophy of striving for complete transplantation, essentially rebuilding the game from the ground up on the new hardware based on analysis of the original arcade board. They express confidence that with enough dedication, a perfect port is always achievable. The Sega Saturn significantly boosted Sega's market share during its maturity period, 1994 to 1998, through stellar arcade ports, especially 3D titles. Virtua Fighter 2 was a major success, representing impressive Model 2 conversions. Other notable ports included Virtua Cop 2, Darkstalkers 2, and a dedicated Outrun port. Namco also released arcade compilations on PlayStation. The modern period, 1998 onwards, saw the arcade-home divide blur with hardware like the Dreamcast. Games, like The House of the Dead 2 and Soul Calibur, offered near-identical or even superior experiences. Crazy Taxi was another excellent port. An interview highlights the complete transplantation philosophy of developers, emphasizing their dedication to replicating arcade games perfectly, as seen in their work, including the 32X Afterburner port. Their passion for arcade games fueled their efforts. This page discusses Sega's multi-platform strategy and how the concept of porting is evolving as home console hardware catches up to arcade performance. It features insights from various Sega development teams. Sega Bellman 2 discusses the PS2 port of Virtua Fighter 4, noting the technical challenges compared to previous ports like Virtua Fighter 2 on Saturn, but highlights the goal of bringing out the best on the new hardware. WoW Entertainment talks about The House of the Dead 3 and Sega GT 2002 on Xbox, emphasizing leveraging the console's power. Smilebit lists several titles for PS2 and Xbox, mentioning the complexity of porting and adapting games like Panzer Dragoon. UPL and Sonic Team discuss bringing popular series like Rez, Space Channel 5, Phantasy Star Online, and Sonic the Hedgehog to multiple platforms including PS2, GameCube, and Game Boy Advance, adapting them with platform-specific features. Wavemaster and Overworks mention titles like Romania No. 203 and Sakura Taisen, also heading to PS2. The article concludes by reflecting on the changing landscape of porting, where the era of pixel-perfect arcade conversions is fading as hardware becomes similar. It expresses hope that Sega's push into multi-platform development might still yield exciting and technically impressive ports in the future, yearning for perfect ports of classics like Model 2 arcade titles, or even retro Sega games on modern handhelds like the Game Boy Advance. Screenshots feature games like Virtua Fighter 4, The House of the Dead 3, Space Channel 5, and Phantasy Star Online. This page introduces a brand new magazine called Raspberry,
Billed as an emotional, beautiful girl character magazine, which is on sale now. The magazine's core concept is simple. Beautiful girls, no matter the genre. Featured within this inaugural volume are deep dives into games like Final Fantasy X, highlighting the fan favorite Yuna, and exploring Sega's venture into the Bishoujo genre with Candy Stripe on the Dreamcast. PC gamers aren't left out, with coverage of Elf's new title. The magazine also looks at cross-platform hits, like Memories Off Second, available on both PlayStation and Dreamcast. Beyond games, Raspberry includes features on popular anime series such as Angelic Layer and Air, promising exclusive new artwork. There are also sections dedicated to original comics and garage kits. The cover story seems to focus heavily on Missing Blue, detailing concept work for its characters, and providing a guide to the game's early stages. This first issue comes packed with appendix items, including a mousepad featuring the cover art of Missing Blue, coasters with newly drawn illustrations of Nakoru and Rimuru, and a package illustration poster. The magazine invites readers to check out Volume 1 and support them if they like what they see, emphasizing a commitment to comprehensive coverage of beautiful girl content across all media. This page is the Akasaka Garage Kit Haul/Shop feature, offering a look at upcoming figures and models for game and hobby enthusiasts. You can find an action doll of Hiroto Kokumoto from the Hylos, capturing his stage presence. For model kit fans, there's a beautiful master-grade plastic model of the AMX-004 Quably from Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, and a smaller 1/12 scale plastic model of the real-life Honda humanoid robot Asimo. A unique plastic model is also featured, the UBE dog Robokun, surprisingly designed by the acclaimed artist Katsuhiro Otomo. The page also showcases collectible capsule toys, including high-quality figures of Vash, the Stampede, Nicholas D. Wolfwood, and Meryl Streif from Trigun, and the popular Beat Dorbrick collection figures with Series 1. Finally, for fans of the dating sim genre, there are resin cast kits of Hikari Hinomoto from Tokimeki Memorial 2, available in both her standard one-piece dress and a charming childhood version. This page dives further into the world of figures and models, starting with a stunning portrayal of D from Vampire Hunter D, a renewed statue capturing the character's legendary beauty. Next up, a dynamic Chun-Li figure from Street Fighter II is shown mid-kick, perfectly capturing her fierce fighting style. The plastic model section highlights some interesting subjects, including a large-scale Gundam trailer and a vehicle with figures from Patlabor, suggesting Bandai is listening to fan requests for diverse subjects beyond just mobile suits. For fans of unique collectibles, there's a series of bizarre, grotesque figures under the title Enjoy the Splendor of Edo, focusing on yokai, Japanese folklore monsters, available as candy toys. Also featured is a cool power suit model that will definitely appeal to hardcore sci-fi fans. Completed toys include items from Kamen Rider Agido, showcasing a large weapon and a smaller figure. A fascinating art project called Genomeroid is highlighted in a topic section, featuring incredible robot sculptures crafted entirely from scrap metal, giving discarded materials a new life. Finally, there's a look at some intricate papercraft models, showing off complex mechs and figures made from paper, a testament to dedication and skill. The next page features character introductions and the 50th chapter of a comic titled Guru Guru Creature Wonder Space. On the left we meet the main characters. Guru Guru Kun, a middle schooler aiming to be a scientist who likes making fluffy things and collecting creatures. Hiroshima Kun, who self-proclaims as Rika-chan, appears as a cute girl but is actually a cross-dressing man with a strong manly personality. Maisie-san, a school idol from a prestigious family who is quite narcissistic, and Oikun and Jinmen Oizan, a strange creature helper created by Guru Guru, with Jinmen Oizan being a human face on Oikun's chest with a distinct personality. The comic strip depicts a humorous scene where Maisie-san insists on going to the toilet with Guru Guru-kun. Hiroshima-kun questions this, suggesting Guru Guru-kun should go alone. When Maisie-san says she gets lonely, Guru Guru-kun offers to accompany her since he always does. The situation escalates with Hiroshima-kun's reactions, ultimately revealing the comedic conflict around Hiroshima-kun being a man despite his appearance, and the confusion or reactions this causes, culminating in a chaotic scene with multiple characters, and a final panel reaction from Guru Guru-kun overwhelmed by the wonderland of it all. The next page features another installment of the Guru Guru Creature Wonder Space comic strip. The scene continues the previous page's discussion about using the toilet. Hiroshima-kun insists that going with friends is fundamental for girls, justifying Maisie-san's desire to accompany Guru Guru-kun, despite Hiroshima-kun's true gender. The situation quickly devolves into chaos, resulting in Guru Guru-kun being tied up and left in a toilet stall, lamenting about makeup smells, water conservation, and being treated like an object. The strip concludes with a character reacting with surprise to someone named Hanako-san. A promotional text panel on the right announces that Kururi minibooks and t-shirts will be sold at Comic Market 60 at Tokyo Big Sight from August 10th to 12th at the SoftBank Publishing booth. This page features the cover of Weekly The Play 2, issue volume 254 from August 2001, priced at 450 yen. The cover highlights that this issue is packed with new game information and strategy guides to help gamers beat the summer heat. The main image features characters from a fighting game, fitting with one of the featured topics. The magazine promises comprehensive coverage, including a detailed strategy guide for Final Fantasy X, covering weapon/armor upgrades and secrets. It also celebrates the release of the major fighting games Tekken 4 and Virtua Fighter 4 with a special feature, including a complete move list for Tekken 4. Furthermore, there's a summer horror game feature titled Invitation to the Dark Cave for chilling tropical nights. On the left, there's a focus on the Sakura Wars 3 strategy guide's lower volume, promising in-depth tips. An online promotion offers original postcards with internet purchases. The right side presents the lineup of SoftBank strategy guides, featuring releases for various platforms, including Dreamcast classics like Phantasy Star Online Verpoint 2, Crazy Taxi 2, Sonic Adventure 2, and Miss 2 I Exile, alongside titles for PlayStation, PS2, and WonderSwan Color. This indicates a wide coverage of games available around that time. The next page features a fun segment titled Akasaka ni Kita Mama, Compatibility Fortune Telling, covering the period from August 10th to August 23rd. This section includes a character compatibility corner, spotlighting Erica Fontaine from Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? Quote, offering insights into compatibility with different zodiac signs. The rest of the page provides 2-week horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. Each horoscope includes a general forecast for the period, details on a lucky color and a lucky item, and a quick rating for areas like money, health, love, work, and play, using simple symbols. Illustrations representing each sign are also shown for both boys and girls. This is a light-hearted, engaging feature adding a personal touch for the magazine's readers. The page credits confirm the connection to the Sakura Wars series, a significant franchise for the Dreamcast. This page kicks off with a generous reader present campaign, offering a variety of items. Prizes include Dreamcast software, a collection of art, and a novel from the Roommate series, a poster for the strategy board game Gaia Master. Clash! Legend of the Century King featuring characters who appear similar to those from the King of Fighters series, an original Dorimaga t-shirt, and a phone card featuring art from the Virgin on Megiddo, which was previously a cover illustration. There's a brief summary of how to apply for the prizes, and a list of winners from a previous issue's giveaway, covering various regions across Japan. The bottom section teases the next issue, highlighting it will again be over 200 pages, packed with content. The upcoming issue, dated September 7, 2001, promises features on the Dreamcast release of Super Robot Wars Alpha, a special report just before the launch of Shenmue 2, coverage of Capcom vs SNK 2 Millionaire Fighting 2001, Guru, Mark of the Wolves, and the Virgin on Megiddo. The magazine is expanding its scope, also previewing coverage of Nintendo Space World and tackling hot PlayStation 2 titles like Ace Combat 04, Shattered Skies, Time Crisis 2, and Guilty Gear X+, showing they're looking beyond just Dreamcast. This page features Hackberry's simulation of the popular pachinko machine, CR Hisatsu Shigatonen, for the Dreamcast. The striking visual displays the legendary actors from the classic Hisatsu Shigatonen television series, overlooking the detailed simulation of the pachinko machine itself, surrounded by evocative Japanese text. This isn't just a simple simulation, it's fully compatible with the @VP@Chi online service, allowing players to connect and compete. The game boasts multiple modes designed to cater to different playstyles, including a strategy mode for mastering the machine, a ranking mode to test your luck and skill against others online, and even a tournament mode, where online competition can potentially net you real-world prizes such as travel tickets. There's also an appreciation mode to simply enjoy the pachinko's visual effects and promotional material. The title is currently available for 5,800 yen before tax. This page features Arrow Dancing It, presented as a communication battle special disc, releasing on August 23, 2001, for 3,800 yen before tax. The bold header exclaims,
This time, we're waiting for Aerodancing It. The page showcases a realistic depiction of a Harrier jet, hinting at the game's focus on detailed flight simulation. Key features highlighted include exciting Dreamcast versus Windows Online battles, powered by a unique multi-platform function. Players can look forward to watching a curated collection of 200 top replays from pilots across Japan. Furthermore, the game introduces new aircraft and 2 brand new game modes, features eagerly anticipated by fans of the series. The page features the logo of CSK Research Institute, the developer.